Okay, here we are again. Sorry I'm late, folks. I had about 16,000 things to do in the last half hour before the stream, so got a little backed up with everything I needed to do, but we are here now. We are ready to rock and roll just about. Get my notes, and then we are, in fact, ready to rock and roll. There we go. Okay. I don't know why it looks like that. It's like I exited off of Twitch, the mobile app, to get my notes, and then I pulled it back up, and now it's cutting off like half a line's worth of chat at the top. So as if I didn't have a problem with chat real estate already, now I have even more of a problem, but that's okay. It's not much. So it's not going to make that much of a difference, I think. I hope. We shall see. Since we started a little late, let me take a drink and then we'll get started right now. There was food stuck up there. Sorry. Had a little bit of food stuck on the top of my gums, and I needed to get rid of it. So I did. I couldn't get rid of it when I was swishing water around with the baking soda in it, but got rid of it now. So I guess that's all that matters, as long as it's gone now, right? Speaking of things being gone, I'm slowly but surely shaking the rust off as we continue to play the game. And it's probably a good thing that I did so sooner rather than later, because I realized something in between streams where, by the way, I had an autosave before the fight with Bloody Bones. So I went back and did the fight again, and I actually got about 1,700 more experience than I got from not Fate killing him. I'll explain why experience is at a premium later, but before I get too deep into it, there's something very important that I forgot that we need to go and remedy right away before we go to Delic, because it's not that I messed up, it's more that I've been just kind of riding by the seat of my pants, and the seat of my pants probably won't get us through the hardest boss fight in this game, in my opinion. So let's actually, instead of going straight to Delic, let's go report our success at the House of Ballads first, because that will take us to a Fate Weaver that is in Agarth, and then we can respec, because I need to respec again. Great. Even more of my money gone. It's okay, though. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Kingdoms of Amalur, the stream edition. Last time, we began working our way through Ettenmere after we saved the Webwood from definitely not Quaelag's sister. And today, we have to go meet Agarth and Delic, like I said. But before we do that, we're going to turn in the quest that we just finished in Uduath last time with the House of Ballads, and we'll grab their quest, their next one, But we won't go do it just yet. We will work on that once we... Excuse me. Hello. Get to that area of the map once we're in the area where they want us to go for that. Crackling staff. Freezing and lightning damage. And it's as good as the other one. I can just take this? Are you sure? Because that's actually pretty good. I'm not taking the Amon's Key Spring. I still don't even know what the hell that does, but that's actually pretty good. I was going to go and buy an ice staff for myself for later, but we won't need it at this rate. As long as they're okay with me taking it, I'm down for it. Anyway, Fate Weaver is over here, so let's have a chat with her, because that'll let us respec.
I am Arvia, but I suspect you know that already.
I know nothing, Arvia, because I can't see you, and I can't move the camera to see you at the moment. Give me a minute.
Until we meet again.
Give me a minute to, like...
It is an honor to see you again.
I hope the camera doesn't get messed up again, but that's fine, I guess. So, you're another Fate Weaver, huh? I guess Agarth said there were more than one.
I am here for you, to guide you in a careful separation of the threads of fate, and to ease you into a more appropriate plane.
That's good, because I don't want to be on the plane of threads of fate anymore. I need to stop making jokes like that. One of these days, Dream's going to come back into the stream when I say something like that, and that's just going to mess everything back up again. Anyway, Fate Weave me, please. 2,048 coins, gold, in order to unbind your destiny this time. And it goes up and up and up from here. I think it goes up to like 4,000 something after this. But, I mean, we're gaining enough money to where I'm not really too concerned about the fact that we're paying for this stuff. I just wish I had thought about this beforehand. Before I unbound my destiny the first time, so that way we could have just not had to do this a second time. But, oh well. It works. So what about you? Maybe I should get dressed first before I ask about you. Hold on.
See you soon.
Hang on, ma'am. Let me get out of my pajamas. I guess we'll level up first before we equip our inventory, because it's probably better to do that, so that way anything that has a requirement for stats on it, I just take care of real quick. Blacksmithing 1 to 4 and detect hidden 2 to 5. There we go. And then we need to work on... Hang on. Make sure it doesn't disconnect me from chat. Hammer 1 to 6, harpoon 1, shield 1. Not messing around anymore. I'm just like absolutely all the way up on the hammer stuff. And hardy constitution 1 to 6. So the reason why we're leveling these up specifically is because we have the Earth Gavel, and that's a good enough weapon pretty much to get us through the rest of Dalentarth by itself, to be honest. So I figure we might as well just spec directly into it, because we don't have a longsword or anything of the equivalent to double down on at this point. Harpoon's usually pretty good. We'll just get the 1 level for shield so we can get hardy constitution all the way up to give us that maximum health and elemental resistance that it gives. And I'm not actually going to take any of the moves over here, because... Excuse me, I actually have forgotten the ancient hammer technique of my forefathers. And as a part of shaking off the rust, I have remembered that ancient hammer technique, so I will show it to all of you today as we go through the fights that we're going to be doing today in Delic and all that. Shadow Flare 1 to 5 we'll still keep, because that's massively useful, especially against the Etten that we're dealing with at the moment. And then we need Arcane Weaponry Charge 1, Staff 1 to 4, and Arcane Weaponry Block 1 to 3. So this, and this. Now, why are we respecking into all this stuff? So it turns out that I done goofed. I forgot in the process of saying, well, maybe we should do a couple of the... Like, I thought about this after the first stream. I said, maybe we should do a couple of the faction quests just to kind of add to some of the flavor of the stream. And I said, the House of Ballads and the other house that you go to later in the game, those are both pretty interesting. More interesting than most of the game's quests, I think, so we'll try doing those. Well, I forgot that the final boss of the House of Ballads quest line is what a lot of people consider to be the hardest boss in this game. I think even with the DLC in consideration, it's still considered to be one of the toughest ones. It's less because it's actually challenging in terms of the tactics and strategy that you have to use. It's more challenging because you're at level 14 or so when you get to them, and you don't really have a lot of the busted tools that you can use near the late game where all the other difficult bosses are, or potentially difficult bosses are. So you're mostly gimped in the fight by comparison to how you are later. And that's what makes it hard, excuse me. So I have decided to keep with our universalist settings, but basically spec myself out to be in a build that works effectively against the final boss of the House of Ballads questline. And that is what all of this stuff is. We're going to work... basically, Mage's Vortex is really solid. It's just really nice for crowd control and AoE, so that's why we want this all the way up if possible. We took out Stormbolt because not a whole lot of things in Dalen Tarth. As a matter of fact, I don't think anything in Dalen Tarth is weak to Stormbolt now that I think about it. You can only get neutral damage, but some enemies even resist it, like Boggarts and stuff. So we're going to work on basically speccing ourselves out for fire. We've got a fire staff, and then we've got an ice and lightning staff now if we need it. Basically, the only thing that we would need the ice and lightning staff for would be Sprite Flame Champions, because they resist fire, so we'd want to use the ice or lightning staff instead. So we're basically doubling down on all of our fire skills. We're going to get Mark of Flame and Conservative Casting, and once those are maximized, we will be at 18 points, so then we'll get staff to 6, and I actually want to get the Fair Gorda summon as well, because that gives us a guy who can kind of help us control aggro in a fight, and we're going to need to help control aggro in a fight, trust me when I tell you. So, but that's the plan, basically, is we're going to double down on all of our firepower, because most things in Dalen Tarth are either weak or neutral to fire. There's only one enemy in Dalen Tarth, to my knowledge, that's resistant to fire, and that's the Flame Champions, and if they're resistant to fire, they're weak to ice, so now we actually have all of that covered. And we're still going to stick with Wayfarer. I have a plan, though, because once we finish up with that boss fight, I'm probably going to respec again into a more specialized build rather than a more universalist build. We'll see what I end up doing, but that's the plan at the moment anyway. So, all right, just go in here, immediately leave to refresh that. And now, weapons and armor. So I'm actually going to go over here and equip the Staff of Dusk. Okay, but they're the same in terms of... Well, okay, so this one has more fire damage and burning damage than this has ice and freezing, but that's fine. For a flame champion, like, they're not that hard to kill. But anyway, I'm actually going to take the Sylvan Order, and I'm going to drop it into my Yonk, because I don't think we're going to need it. I'm going to equip Earth Gavel here, get rid of that, and the reason why we won't need it is because I'm not planning on using the bow for right now. We'll just double down on Hammer and Staff, because we have good options in both. They're pretty much as good as we need them to be to get through the rest of Dalen Tarth. So I think if we just double down on those, we'll be in good shape. Now, unfortunately, that means we're going to have to say goodbye to the Silk Farmer gloves because they are very solid, but also they're not going to be as solid as the Might Armor that we're going to have soon. But that being said, they will sell for a pretty penny when we take them to the shop. So that's actually pretty okay to me, if I'm honest. Okay. So I guess we'll get rid of those, even though they have the +5 armor bonus on them. My shield has that too, so that's fine. So yeah, we just put a bunch of purple stuff into our junk pile, which will actually help us quite a bit. Sorry, I'm yawning a whole bunch because it's been a long-ish day. But we put a whole bunch of purple stuff in our junk pile, so when we sell in a little bit after we get to Delek, I'm actually going to take a little breather once we get there and come back and sell some stuff to the shops in Canarok, probably. We'll probably get a pretty decent price for all of it as well. So, all right, last things last. Let's just see where these got plopped in my UI. Okay, those are fine, actually, where they are. We'll stick Mark of Flame probably on X, and then we'll go from there. And get the Fair Gorda somewhere else. Okay, so anyway, this time don't glitch out the camera.
I'm glad your path is unfolding as I've foreseen it.
So let's talk about you then.
You act as though we're strangers. That's not true, is it? In many a dream you've come to me. Even in death you've brushed my consciousness.
I did? Since when? Did you know me before I died? How's that possible? So, do you know about this from divining this stuff from me, or?
I am but a tool of the Destinies, a mouthpiece for their changing voices.
This would be a much more interesting conversation if the camera would cooperate.
It has been that way since I first stepped from my hollow.
And you came here.
Lord Isa had great faith in Winston, and his instincts have proven true. But all kingdoms fall, and all kings fall with them. There is no clear victory for the House of Ballads. I see nothing. Only you.
I don't know if I should be flattered by that or disturbed. What do you know about the Maid of Windermere?
Yes, it's true. She exists, skirting the edges of my consciousness. But I am unaware of her intentions. That is more troubling than anything else.
Yeah, because you're a Fate Weaver. If you don't know what she's up to, then... what the hell is the rest of us gonna do? Yeah, I think some of the NPCs in the House of Ballads are kind of interesting. The Fae themselves in this game have a fairly interesting, just overarching story to them, but I don't know if they ever really go too in-depth with it. Like, some of the stuff we just got there is probably the most in-depth they go with the Fae and their stories. And that's a shame because that feels like a good start to kind of dig deeper into what they do, and it just doesn't happen. Sorry, I know that's probably a little bit of a spoiler for people, but there's a lot of surface level stuff in this game, and that's unfortunate to me.
I am relieved to see you well. What is happening? First Sagril, and now Bloody Bones. These are shocking developments.
Hey, you can say that again.
Listen, Hallam and I have been discussing what transpired in Uduath. You are needed for a very special quest, a song of your very own.
You guys made a new song for me, or are you talking about Sagril still?
Also known as the Librarian. It is an important journey, not without its perils.
There's peril going to a library? By the way, where is Hallam? Did he leave after this, or after you got here?
Your mortal worry for Hallam. He has left the court seeking answers to our many questions. He will return in time.
Okay, fair enough.
If someone is corrupting the songs of this great house, Hallam will find them. He is the storyteller, and he knows our ballads better than anyone.
Sounds like you guys are in pretty good hands then. So who's this Tenhua person?
I know little about the librarian. Only that she and Hallam have spent many seasons studying the ebbing tides of magic and how best to preserve our ballads.
Oh, is that what the kids are calling it nowadays?
Creature, quite aloof and reclusive.
Is that gesture considered derogatory now? Like, because circling your ear with your finger like that is considered saying she's pretty, like, basically, since it's talking about the librarian, she's crazy. You know what I mean? But I haven't seen that gesture done in, like, since the last time I played this, which was like 10 years ago. And even before that, it's been a long time since I had seen the gesture, so I don't know. I don't think it's still common, obviously. It fell out of practice, but whatever. If it's derogatory, then that's one more peg to add to this game's peg list. Anyway, I'm ready to go.
Go to Tenwa's cottage in Haxi. She will be waiting for you.
I'm sure she will. She'll be waiting a while, too.
It is called The Hero and the Maid. Bring it to me, and guard it with your life. Its worth cannot be measured.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. And you said that she's in Haxi?
Her cottage stands in the gap between Yolvan and Haxi, southeast of here. It is an isolated spot, safe.
So you say that now, but
Tenwa is expecting you.
She will be expecting me for a while, because I am not going to be going there until we're heading to Haxi ourselves, which is going to be for a little bit yet. I don't think we go there. Basically, the story is going to split into two quests that you have to look at the main story. After this quest with Agarth, there's two quests that you go do, and then they converge on another quest, which takes you to the end of Dalentarth. And, well, those take a little while and take you to most of the rest of the corners of Dalentarth. I think the only place you don't go is Lorcarein, because that's mostly just an empty field with a bunch of ruins, and I think there's Jotun over there, actually, as well. So that's interesting, but we'll figure that part out later. For now, We have everything we need. We respect. We turned that quest in, and the... Actually, let me just double check where the Haxie one is. Down there. Okay, so directly northeast of Canarok, so that's fine. I was going to say of Webwood, but that wouldn't be quite right now, would it? So we'll worry about that later. For now, let's head back to Holmstead, and we'll head over towards where Agarth is waiting for us, and then I'll probably, like I said, I'm going to let him walk into Dalek, so like we'll do the conversation outside first. I'll discover it on the map so that way I can transport back to it, fast travel. And then I'll go back to Canarok to sell some stuff, buy some potions, and then... Oh, look, the exploding barrel's back. And then once I buy the potions and sell some stuff, then we'll actually go into Dalek and meet with maybe our fate. It's hard to tell, especially considering, you know, the fact that we keep spitting in the face of fate throughout most of the game. So, but I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually. Ooh, let me go grab that stuff because there's a chest and a dive spot. You never know, you might find some fancy shards in there. The more shards I have, the less I have to go get later. Although I think, if I remember right, you get better shards and more shards from item drop points if you have more in sage crafting. So, oh, well, that's nice. Belen's Cuirass. I'll take those. And what do we go? Okay, well. Now that's pretty nice. Okay, so this is actually really nice with Earth Gavel. I'm kind of glad that I subbed in 6 points into Hammer, because on top of the 10% chance to stun that our Hammer already has, this gives us 5% more chance. And it's a part of a set. But it's significantly more powerful than the Sturdy Cuirass that I've been wearing, because it's just an old iron one. This one is a little closer to like steel tier, which is tier 3 metal armor. So, excuse me, that's pretty nice. Anyway, we don't have the rest of the set, but that's fine. We don't need the rest of the set. This is good enough for what our purposes are. Haste Adring, an honored bailiff and reeve, received this armor set from her patroness, Lady Goodwulf, a fervent follower of Belen. Why would you want to follow somebody named Belen? You're like halfway to being called a bellend. And something tells me that's not something you would want. But anyway, we got a fancy new piece of armor, so we'll hang on to that. It's funny, this is about as much armor rating as I would have had in the end of Champions of North. And this is just a regular old armor set. A little closer up here. I probably should have bought some more picks, but I think we'll be okay with what we've got here. Another minor experience booster. That's nice. One less thing for me to pay for. There's a bunch of detect hidden stuff over there. I'll probably go there in a sec. First, let's go grab some of this stuff, I think. Thurden's Charge. I'll take that. That'll help a little bit with getting us to Dalek. If we run into any more Etten anyway. For now, it's just a wolf. You come here. And, ooh, a hard chest. No, thank you. I don't think you've got anything that I personally care about. I'll just loot this pile of garbage instead. How about that? There we go. The way that loot works in this game, by the way, as far as I'm aware, and enemy levels as well, is when you first step foot into the loading area of, well, an area on the map, it locks the level of the enemies in that area. So, like, I think we stepped foot in Ettenmere at first at, like, level 7, I want to say. So all the enemies around here are level 7, plus or minus, I think, 3 levels. So that gives you a vague idea of how strong or weak they can be. There are minimum levels and maximum levels in each area as well. I think the minimum level here is 4 or 5, so that's why you'd want to be 4 or 5 before you even get here, because otherwise it's like, ooh, minus 5 mana cost, that's nice too. And that's a steel shield, if I remember right, yeah. That's pretty good. But yeah, so you're going to want to be level 5 before you get here anyway, so that you meet the minimum level requirement, basically. There was one other thing that I was going to talk about a second ago, but I forgot what it is. Oh well. At least we're getting all these minor experience boosters as we wander around the islands around here. Okay, I think... Yeah, I was going to say, I think there's a thresh on one of them, though, so I guess we'll go fight it while we're here, because why not? An empowering necklace. Nah, I think it's worse than the one that I've got at the moment. Probably be better later, but for now, not so much. And I mean, we could just go straight towards Delic, but it's up on like a hill up there, so you can't just like swim completely across and then get straight there. You have to kind of walk around to get to it. So, well, we don't need those, so I'll just stick those in here. But as you can see by how much treasure we've gotten so far, I mean, we're already up at 54 out of 55 out of 80 on our item limit there, so it's worthwhile to, you know, get rid of all that stuff before we go into Delic, because then I'd have to be worrying about... It's not a long dungeon, but it's long enough to where I'd have to be worrying about my inventory limit by the time we get close to the end. So, unless I, you know, just decided not to grab a whole lot of stuff. That's what I was going to talk about, is the ancient hammer technique of my people. I will talk about it in a moment once I can actually... Oh, I guess I can, you know, have you taken care of by the tree there. Keep that in mind. So if you go over here... Yeah, that'll work a little bit, I think. I'll wait. 5. Now we go up here. Try to stagger him with that. Ancient hammer technique of my people is 1-2 shield cancel. 1-2 shield cancel. And if you shield cancel, basically, so here's how shield canceling works in case anyone is unaware of the technique. When you swing, this is basically what I was talking about before with committing to attacks. So if you use the final hit of a combo, you commit to that attack as soon as you hit the button, and you can't stop it from happening until the combo is over. But at any time before the combo is over, you can shield cancel by pulling your shield up, and it cancels the momentum of whatever attack you're having. So basically, the plan of action now is swing once, swing again. As soon as they get hit, as soon as I hear that sound effect happen where they get whacked upside the head by the second hammer swing, pull the shield out. What that'll do is it'll let me reset my combo, so then I can attack them again. And if I do it correctly, if I time it right, basically it'll hit them, they'll stagger from the second hammer hit. And then by the time I put my shield back down, I can hit them before they even get out of their stagger frames. So as soon as I get them staggered the first time, like the way that I got that Bog Thresh staggered as soon as I Shadow Flared him a couple of times, once they're staggered in that way, they can't really break out of it. I mean, they can if there's certain types of enemies, like the Thresh, if I hadn't killed him in one round of hits, he would have eventually broken out of that because he has enough health, and he's basically like a mini-boss enemy, right? So he would have broken out of that eventually. But because I killed him so quickly, he didn't get a chance to break out of it. So, I said... Then we could just do one of those if we need to as well. Oh, okay. I'll just wait here. Thank you. And now we can level up. Sweet. Drop anything for me? No? Okay. Do I wait to level up till I go up here? No, I'll just level up now. Why not? Alright, and next level, so this is level 9. We would have been getting Adventurer here if I hadn't respec'd again, but we'll worry about that. Well, we won't be getting Adventurer, basically, unless I decide to go back to a Universalist build, but we'll keep the Universalist build we're on right now for a little while, anyway. So we want Detect Hidden 6, which will get us access to traps being displayed on the minimap, and that will be helpful, because if there are any traps in any of the dungeons we go do from now on, we'll be able to see them. And I think at the next level, we want to take Detect Hidden 7, so then we can disarm and salvage them for components, which with our blacksmithing level should get us some halfway decent stuff. But we'll figure that out later. For now, we actually have all the points in Might and Finesse that I actually care about for a little while here. So what we're going to do is, I think, Staff 5 and 6, right? Yeah. And Conservative Casting 1. So we're going to max out our Staff level. Excuse me. We're just going to get a flat 10% reduction to our mana costs real quick. We just got that one other item, the shield, that gives us -5, so this will be helpful. And what we're going to do for the next couple of levels is we're going to max out Mark of Flame, put the second level into this. So for the next 2 levels, we'll max this out. We'll put 1 extra point into this, and then we'll max this out at the 3rd level. So that's a 10, 11. By level 12, we'll have this maxed out and this maxed out so we can use them. And then at that point, level 12, we'll have 20 points in here, so then we can max out the Fair Gorda from levels 13 and 14. And once we get to level 14, we'll be all set and ready to go to fight the final boss of the House of Ballads quests. So, but we'll stick with Wayfarer because, again, the equip requirement reduction is nice, and the +1 to all skills is also nice. So since I've still got points in everything, I might as well just stick with that, you know. So that's the plan. We're going to do that. But I thought a little bit harder and longer about how I wanted to do this, and I said, no, I should probably take this a little seriously. Like, that way I kind of know at the very least that I have a build that I can use that won't just end with me face rolling against the final boss of the House of Ballads, where I'm just kind of slamming my head against the wall repeatedly until it works. This way there's at least some strategy to... Ooh, Lambent Lightning Shard. Nice. It's a level 2 shard. This way there's at least some strategy to the way that I'm approaching and confronting all of these enemies that we have to fight. Gnomish Expedition. Well, somebody probably caught the wrong end of the Etten around here. That's unfortunate. Static Feyblades and Minor Lightning Storm. Yeah, I don't care about that stuff, but I'll take the Iron Guard for a shield. Oh, hello. And what's behind me? Ah, hello. An Etten Shaman. Okay, well, I was going to Shadow Flare him. He is bleeding, to be fair. But he's not bleeding the way that I wanted him to. Which was bleeding in such a way that he staggered and stopped attacking me. But, you know, it happens. Ah, there's another one. We'll Shadow Flare this one, too. Come on! And as you can see, Earthgavel is making short work of these guys. They really don't stand much of a chance, to be honest, against the strength and the power that we have. So, Gauntlets of Luck, huh? 3% chance to critical hit with physical. I think you have a flat 5% critical hit rate normally, so this would increase it to 8. I mean, it's not great, but it is better armor-wise, just less health. So, I mean, I'm not really worried about my health, though, to be fair. So, and those are steel gauntlets as well, I think. So those are tier 3. Nice. So some good might armor finds along the way here. It makes me satisfied with the fact that I still kept up with some of the might stuff. I mean, granted, we still don't have a good helmet or a good pair of leggings, but we'll work on that. Chausses, rather. That's what the technical term is. I think leggings are light armor? I forget. Well, either way, we're almost there. So that's good. This is, yeah, obviously just going to be a flat loss in armor rating and everything else for us because of the fact that we got this fancy armor set. And this armor set, again, besides the helmet and the chausses, will carry us through the rest of Dalentarth on its back by itself. So I'm not particularly worried about our armor and anything like that going forward. Alright, well, come on then. Don't growl at me. Attack me. Okay, so as soon as you see him stagger, you can or rather, if you Shadow Flare him and you see him stagger, you can instantly start just whacking him upside the head. as much as you possibly can. And then if they start to get too far away, like if you're pushing them too far away with your hits, you can harpoon to get closer, and then you can go from there. Empowering Signet. A little mana regen. I kind of would rather have the Traveler's Band for the extra lockpicking and stealth, honestly, so I think we'll just junk that. But the Traveler's Band will go away pretty soon anyway, because we'll have an excuse to equip a different ring. So, we'll get there. I'll take that, thank you. And it looks like Agarth, I was going to say, was getting in trouble over there, but it looks like he killed whatever enemy. No, he didn't. It's still fighting him. Alright, cool. We'll get into the fray once we get there. After we unlock this easy-to-unlock chest. Oh, good, it's an Etten, which will give me something to do, because he won't kill it by himself, so... There we go.
It's good you're here. I was beginning to think you were just something I saw in the bottle.
I mean, I might still be. How do you know?
Welcome to the ruins of Delok.
You're not just still tripping. So, this little shanty ruin is the place you guys all went?
Yes. It doesn't look like much, but in these ruins lies the Theater of Fate. The ancient home of the Fate Weavers. Come with me. No telling what we'll find down there.
I mean, I can venture a guess for you.
It's the ruins of the Theater of Fate. This is where the first Fate Weavers learned how to read the weave. They left their wisdom behind in
Come
the
in.
Destiny Stone.
Thank you.
I'm hoping that the stone will tell me who you are.
Well, hopefully you're correct, Agarth. We'll see.
In we go.
Well, give me a moment first, because I need to go and take care of a delivery I just got. I'll be right back. Thanks. Okay, you good? I'm going back to...
I'm out of here.
Alright, thanks, Dad. Later. I forgot to mute the mic. Oh well. Parents had another cricket delivery for Hunter. So that's why... Oh, yeah, duh. There. And the thing is when they give you those crickets, they're in like little bags, basically. So like they only have a certain amount of oxygen. So if you don't transfer them to something with open air quickly enough, they die, and that would be a waste of $2. So why would we want to do that? Anyway, it takes care of that. I'll take this.
So simply Famor, so formidably bloody bones. Once companion to Issa, now enemy to the court. Once lover of Era, then bringer of death. Now forever. Never
Well, that takes care of that. Didn't really get a chance to hear about the bloody bones stuff, but sure, why not? No, Mr. Wolf, you can keep your 2 shadow prisms. Thank you very much. Agarth, you head on in. I've got to loot all the garbage that the Atten have been hoarding here. Oh, good, he already went in. Fantastic, that leaves me to my looting. And we just discovered this place on the map. Ooh, another health regen potion. So now I can actually just take this stuff back to Canarok. We can sell some stuff. I think I'll probably actually sleep because I think it's a little bit, like, not early in the morning, so the shops probably won't be open. Guess I didn't really think about that one, though, is the fact that, yeah, you know, this game has a day-night cycle. It feels bizarre. I mean, it doesn't feel bizarre in the context of... Sorry, I just bumped the mic's pop filter. It doesn't feel bizarre in context of the other games that were this game's contemporaries, because a lot of them had day-night cycles as well. But in comparison to, like, the EverQuest games that I've played, there wasn't really a day-night cycle, so you didn't ever have to worry about, like, going to a shop and not being able to use it because the shopkeepers weren't there or something, you know. But there's really no, like, interesting stuff that happens when you use a bed in this one. It kind of just, how long do you want to sleep for? Okay, and then it just fades out and fades back in, and, excuse me, there you go, you're done. So, I mean, I guess that's fine, but not particularly interesting, I guess. Okay, so get 2 health regen potions. I'll buy 2 mana potions. And then I won't need to buy any health regen potions because we're at 10. Is my satchel? No, it's still empty. Okay. I mean, it's not a huge loss if we don't get a whole bunch of Canarok Gossamer because it's worth some money, but we've got some jewel bracelets and some purples in our junk pile at the moment, so we should get a pretty decent chunk of money out of what we pull from the shops here in just a moment. I should also probably go and sell some stuff. Oh, Silveretta, you're out here.
I have a moment I can spare for you.
Well, good, because I would like to shop and sell junk. Yeah, that's a pretty good chunk of change. Alright, I'll buy 2 of these. And then... I don't think there's anything else I need from you specifically. I think the only thing I can think of that I would need now would be like... this is worse than what I've got, so we can sell that too. Same thing, sell that too. Same thing, sell that too. You I can hold on to. We can get rid of this stuff. Shouldn't need any of it. Just keep the stuff that we've got there. And then keep all of our shards, and this is all of our... Yeah, okay, so we'll keep all that stuff. We've still got repair kits. I'm probably just going to go... With all this extra money that we have, I'm probably just going to go repair in the inn. So that way I don't have to worry about that part. Just get it done and get it out of the way. And do you make a common practice of referring to yourself in the third person there, Jennery? I always found that annoying when characters refer to themselves in the third person. I don't know why, it just bugs me, I guess. Where's the, Beckery, where's your son? Because this is just the smithy right here. It's not him playing the lute, is it? No. It is not. Maybe he's upstairs. Maybe he's outside. For all I know. Nope. Okay, well, I don't know where he is. I was going to repair my stuff, but we have repair kits, so I guess I don't have to worry about that too much, I guess. I don't think... Can I just repair myself from here? Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. It might just be outside. It's fine. If I don't see him, then we'll repair later, and I'll just do it with my own repair kits. We've got enough blacksmithing where we should be able to make pretty short work of anything we need to repair, so... And let me see, actually. I'm probably going to use a repair kit now that I think about it. You know, I think that's him over there, actually. I just saw him. I think I'm going to use a repair kit on my earth gavel. It's actually not that bad off. None of this stuff is that bad off, honestly, to where I would say we really need to worry about it. So... Alright, is this him right here? No, that's Jennery. Is this him? Yeah, that's him.
What is it?
Can't stop now. Thank you for your... It's good to keep working.
Yep, heard this part already. Billis, repair my gear for way too much money, but that's okay. We have way too much money as it is, so...
Stay alert.
Anyway, that takes care of that. We have full fate bar. We have a nice inventory just all cleared out. So now we can head to Delak and we can start helping Agarth with his problem. If the enemies don't respawn over here like they do sometimes. Sometimes you'll like fast travel to an area where a bunch of enemies just were and you killed them and they'll be alive again for... Yeah, like that, actually. For some reason. I don't know why that happens, but... Well, it does. Maybe he was alive like that because I left him with an item on his body? Maybe. Because this is just... Yeah, okay, that's just the Shadow Prism. I don't need that. Alright, well anyway, let's head into Delok finally. We only got this quest 2 streams ago. Might as well finally finish it. Main quest will go by a little quicker as we get out of the House of Ballad stuff. Like, it's that and one other faction, and those are pretty much the only side quests I'm planning on doing in the game, so...
This place has been abandoned for so long that some Fate Weavers think it's just a legend.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm looking at it, and it looks pretty real to me. Alright, let's go take a look in here. Okay, and Etten and his wolves. Nope. Yeah, I was gonna say, can you take care of the wolves there real quick, man? That'd be nice of you. I guess he took the aggro on one of them, so... I suppose beggars can't be choosers. He didn't exactly kill anything, but if I expected him to, I'd probably be expecting a lot. The AI in this game is, I mean, it's fine. I guess it takes aggro, but... Is it good at its job of killing things? That's not really its job, to be fair. Most of the time, the AI in this game, what they do is not kill things. They take the hate off of you so that you can focus on killing other things first. So, you know. Alright, 3 Ettins. That's a lot of experience. I'm going to just slam a jamma all 3 of them here real quick. Oh, okay. And this should get us a pretty decent chunk once we blast this man in the face with this Fate Greatsword that I have conjured from my hands. Yeah, that's a pretty solid chunk of experience. We'll level up again before we get out of here. So there you go. You have 3 Etten. It might be worth your while to use some Fate mode on them. I'll try to use Fate mode when we come to an encounter that actually warrants it. But, I don't know. It's going to depend on the encounters in here. I don't remember a whole lot about them, so we'll see what we find. Seeker's Longsword. It's a steel one. It's not bad. It's got good piercing damage on it, so I guess that could be pretty good, but we're not using them right now, so we'll just stick that in the junk pile. Bring it with me to the shop next time I go. And move right along. I do hope I get better, a better helmet and some better pants at some point, yeah. Because just running around with the iron stuff, I don't know, it doesn't make me feel like I'm in super great shape there. I mean, I guess I could just do what I, did in Champions of Norith, where I just, I go back to the shops, and, once I'm able to find a new shop, I can just shop in there. So. Sweet. There we go. Wow. Okay then. first, now you. Okay, there we go. Agarth, you still having trouble with a single solitary wolf while I've taken on, what, 5 enemies? 6 enemies in the process of you taking on this one? I mean, I guess I'm glad that you've taken the hate away from me for this one singular enemy, but I'm not that glad. Very easy. Okay, sure. I'll be the judge of that. You were correct, it was very easy. And I guess the coins are worth something. I'm wondering how experience is factored into lockpicking and dispelling, though. Like, I wonder if you get more the less your skill is compared to what you're dispelling and picking. I don't actually know how true that is. I would have to look that one up, but then again, information about this game is somewhat scarce. Not necessarily all true either. Everything you'll read on the internet about it. So.
Show us the whole tapestry of fate laid bare. We can do nothing to change it or prevent its horrors. Well, most of us can.
Yeah, I think I've got a special deal here for fate itself. Shielded Talisman of Ice Aversion. Wow, that's as good as the Steel Shield. That's impressive. What that means is that this is a talisman that is basically, it's the same tier. It's tier 3. It's a tier 3 talisman. So, and it's got good elemental resistance, ice resistance, and armor on it. I don't know if that'd be better than the minus 5% mana costs. Probably. So I think I'll equip it. Why not? So here's how talismans work. They block less damage than a traditional shield if you're just going to be regular blocking, but probably be better to parry in any case. Actually, that looks pretty good with the Earth Gavel. They both got that yellow glow. I'll take it. But usually, instead of providing, like, block efficacy and all that, they, oh my god, sniped the shit out of me with that bomb over there. But usually, instead of offering, whatchamacallit, block efficacy and all that stuff, they offer instead elemental resistance, which can be pretty nice. Agarth trying to feel important, sitting in there stealing my kills on these kobold rogues. What are the Sahagins doing here anyway? No, whatever. Steel kite shield with an armor and utility socket. Never one to be outdone, even though I would still consider that to be outdone. Hopefully we'll have enough fate for... There's a room in here, if I remember correctly, with like 60 bazillion kobolds in it. So hopefully we'll have enough fate for that. Ah. Nice bomb, dude. Okay. Let's just get all these guys in front of me. There we go. Okay, now for you. Still bleeding, huh? Damn, taking a little bit of damage from these guys, actually. That is not who I wanted you to pull in, but sure, why not? Okay. Who's next? This one. Okay. And we are full on fate again. Very nice. You get it back pretty quick, at least early in the game you get it back pretty quick. I think it slows down later on in the game if I remember right, but I could be wrong about that. And by the time the next encounter shows up, we should have all of our fate meter back. Yeah, I guess these guys hit pretty hard, all things considered. Hang on, let me take a drink. Agarth's right. It's time for a drink. To be fair, though, these guys hit pretty hard isn't really a great excuse considering, you know, it's hard mode, first of all, and second of all,
It's good to see
I'm
some
still
action.
surviving with the potions.
If only one last time.
You are putting up more death flags than anybody I've known so far in this game there. Agarth, what's up with that? You planning on dying sometime soon? With me in the party? How are they gonna do it, in a cutscene? This game doesn't have cutscenes. Actually, I think this is the room coming up with the 60 billion kobolds in it. So it's a good thing we've already got our fate mode back, because now I can slam the shit out of a whole bunch of... Yeah, this is the room. This is definitely the room. Okay, so... You. Now you. Okay. Get as many of you as we can. You. Wow, that one almost got me in fate mode. That's impressive, actually. And now you. And done. I don't think we got all of them. I think there's still one on the other end of the room, but this is fine. This is enough. We'll get plenty of experience from this. It's a good use of fate, as you can plainly see. Well, I guess we only got 600 points out of it, but still. I'd like to believe it was a good use of fate. Iron Chainmail Greaves. Those are the ones I have. Another minor experience booster. Getting quite a few of those. I probably should have used one there, but I don't think it would have made enough of a difference. They weren't a mini boss or a regular boss, to be fair, so probably wouldn't have made a huge difference. Oh yeah, I didn't really talk about why I'm being so stingy about my experience point gains, have I? So there's a reason, actually, why I'm trying to make sure that I maximize the amount of experience I get for a little while. Primarily for now, it's because of the fact that I want to make sure we're at a good enough level to have all the tools I need to beat the final boss of the House of Ballads quest line. And there was another reason, if I remember correctly. But now I'm forgetting what it was. I know I've built the characters out to the point where... Like, I have two different ideas for how I'm going to finish the character's build. And one of them is more focused on finesse, one's more focused on might. But they go up to level 28, if I remember correctly. The finesse one goes 28, the might one goes 27. Although I've built both of them to 31 just in case we get more experience than we need. That's what it is. I knew talking this out would help. We need to get to level 21 before we leave the third area of the game, called the Plains of Arethel, because the Plains of Arethel are the final place, as far as I'm aware, where you can find wild animals in the game. And if we want to get the best rewards from the wild animals dropping stuff for us, we need to be level 21 or higher on the Plains of Arethel before we lock the level of all of the areas there. Because if we lock the level of all the areas there before we're level 21, the animals, ideally will be level 24, so that way the animals can't be below level 21 when we fight them. But if we lock the level too low there, excuse me, we'll never get the best materials out of the animals. So we want to try to get to those levels as quickly as we can. And we're doing a pretty good job so far. We're at level 10 at the moment, so... Alright, detect hidden number 7. So now we can see traps and disarm traps for components, and that's pretty good. And now we are just going to pump 3 points into Mark of Flame. And we will keep Wayfarer. Even though we have access to the tier 3 battle mage here, but I mean, it's not bad, but I don't particularly like Blink all that much, so I'm probably not going to bother with that. We'll just stick with Wayfarer. Again, for the +1, it's nice, so. And now we just need to see if Mark of Flame ended up on X. It ended up on Circle. We don't want that. We'll stick it on X. And we'll probably, because Circle, in my opinion, is the farthest away from any of the buttons that I regularly press. I don't regularly press Circle unless I'm dodging out of the way of something, so probably won't press that in combination with R1 very often. So we'll stick the Faragorda over there once we get him. Yeah, there was 2 more over here. Okay, well, I wasn't going to make it all the way over here to these guys before I ran out of Fate meter anyway. Yes, you just said that, Agarth. You don't have to say it again. They heard you the first time, and now they're dead, so they definitely can't hear you the second time. Fine steel longsword, a whole bunch of junk. That's the point of what we just got there, but we've got plenty of room for the junk, so I'm kind of okay with it. I don't think there are any traps in here, though, now that I think about it. I think this dungeon's pretty free. You basically just wander your way through and you're in good shape. So, I do wonder if we're going to have enough fate meter to get it for the boss of this area, though, because we're coming pretty close to them now. Oh, well, okay then. I appear to have entered into the bone zone. Is this where the fun begins? Oh, he didn't even stagger there. Well, staggered there. I'll take it. I'll just beat these guys up while they're being accosted by others than myself. Let them do all the hard work for me, you know, might as well. Especially when they're in the corner, I can just walk right up to them and just slam a jam both of them. Like that. Not bad at all. Agarth appears to be stuck, though. Probably on a corner. That happens with the NPCs sometimes. I think they teleport to you after you get a certain distance away. But it's possible that he won't, and the game will just be stuck, and I'll have to go back and, like, push him or something. Isn't that fun? Hold on, let me go up here real quick and just see if I missed a chest. I did not. While I was wandering my way in. Cool. Yeah, I think as soon as I open this door, he'll teleport to me, if I remember correctly. But I guess we'll find out, won't we? In just a moment.
We're almost there, or at least as far as I can take you.
And why can't you take me any further? Ah, there he is. See? Told you he'd teleport eventually. I think I'm going to drop a save real quick. I think we just got an autosave, but we haven't saved yet today, so I think I'm just going to drop a save just to make sure before we move along. Alright. So let's go see what's waiting for us at this almost there point that he's so afraid of.
I've seen this.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, my friend. This is as far as I can take you.
Well, don't tell me you're going to turn tail and run when we've got this guy to deal with. An Etten War Priest. He's an orange at the moment, so he's pretty difficult at this point, but, I mean, I think we can handle him. Okay. Ow. Well, he's bleeding at least, so that's good. And also, I dodged directly into that. In case it wasn't clear, you don't get iframes from dodging into stuff in this game, so... Okay, there we go, got him. Almost got him. There we go. Well, you're correct about that, because he's not going to escape this new fate that I have handled for him. Manhandled for him, even, because that's what just happened to him.
Another victory! I'm still... He was supposed to... Do you have any idea what you've done? What sort of power you're playing with?
I mean, I killed the guy, so... And I used my fate powers to do it, so I changed something, right?
You absorbed everything he was. Everything he would do. You changed the weave of destiny itself. Because of you, there are deeds he won't do. Children of his that won't be born. Victims that won't die when they were supposed to.
Yeah, that's a fair question. Is that a problem?
Right now? No. You probably saved both our lives. But there's no way to tell what larger changes you've made in the fate of everyone around you.
Yeah, I guess butterfly effect's a
You are
hell of a
much
thing,
more
isn't
dangerous
it?
than I thought. We need to get you to the Theater of Fate right away.
You're so dangerous that I'm really concerned that if you ever turned evil, this would become a big, huge problem. So, this Theater of Fate you keep talking about.
The Theater of Fate was once an Irathi stronghold. Mortals and immortals work together to build a site of total understanding.
Uh-huh.
Since then, it's been lost, rediscovered, and abandoned all over again. Mortals can't stand the knowledge, and immortals simply don't care.
Probably because the Fae keep, you know, playing out the same fate over and over again. So, fair enough. Hang on. Get my Earth Gavel back out. Fae Blades of Skill. Spin to win, but I don't spin to win. I mean, I do, because I swing my hammer in circles, but I don't spin with Fae Blades to win. That would make me too dizzy. I don't think we're going to be at full-on Fate before the boss fight, actually, because I don't know if there's any more fights between us and the boss fight now. That was the mini-boss, but I think the boss fight is soon after this, if I remember correctly. So, I'll have to keep that in mind. Because there's some treasure rooms that he was guarding, that their Etten War Priest was guarding. So let's go raid them now that we can. Another minor experience booster. Yeah, I was basically, what I was planning on doing was I was planning on being able to purchase those at a shop that we're going to be going to soon enough. And I have a reason to go to that shop anyway, even if I don't end up buying experience boosters, because there's something else I can buy in the area. But yeah, I don't think I'll need to buy any more of those. I've got plenty of minor experience boosters at this point, to the point where I'm not even sure I'll need any more than what we've already got for the remainder of the time that I would need them. So that's average. We'll just leave that alone. Stuff in there might be good, but it won't be that good. Not worth me endangering myself anyway. Watch, there have been like a helmet and pants in there that would have helped me. That's fun. That would have been funny, but oh well. All right, kobolds. Actually, these will probably get us pretty close to where we need to be in terms of Fate bar. If not all the way up. I guess we'll find out in a moment, won't we? Because Agarth is taking his sweet-ass time getting here. So that's fine. If he wants to take his sweet-ass time, I will take some lives while I'm waiting for him. Oh god. Javelin! Yeah, I don't think I didn't see that. This guy. Trying to get him before Agarth gets him. Oh, good, that guy ran into my attack. When I say dodge, I mean dodge roll, dude. Like that, yeah. Try it again. You just saying that. That didn't go well at all. Look at my HP bar. Okay, Blades of Leeching. Those would, I think those give you a chance at life steal, if I remember correctly. But, yeah, well, we don't really need that. It's okay. We'll have enough Fate bar very quickly for the boss fight here, because the boss fight's coming up in this next section. And like I said, if I remember correctly, there's no more encounters between us and the boss fight. I could be wrong, though, because I said that, and then there was another encounter, so...
I never thought I'd see it.
Big stone pillar. I wish the camera would stay up like this, so I don't... Okay, there it goes. I was going to say, so I don't have to keep panning it, but... It will now. It wasn't, but it will now. Maybe there's kobolds here. This looks like an encounter area, yeah. I had a feeling. Bomb? You want it? It's yours, my friend. There you go.
Well fought.
What, none of you rogues had... Oh, okay. I was gonna say, anything for me? But you did. I'll take it, thank y'all. And just like that, we're full on Fate Bar. I'm pretty sure that that might be intentional. Like, they may have very specifically made it so that you would be full on Fate Bar for the toughest fights in here, if you use them in the places that I use them. Like, I'm pretty sure they designed it that way. Although, I guess you could have used it on the Etten War Priest that was the mini-boss in here and been fine, but, you know. Hey, Marie, how you doing? Welcome back. Hey, sorry for being super late. That's okay. We are inside of Delek, finally. We have decided to catch up with Agarth, and we just saved him from dying, because his fate, according to what he read, was that he was supposed to die to an Etten War Priest that we killed right over here somewhere. And, well, he didn't die, so... Now everything that he does is his own decision. And I gotta imagine that's going to be existentially terrifying for him, at least for a little bit. But in the meantime, we're doing pretty good. I got a new spell. I can now put little fireballs on people and then blow them up by holding down the button again. So there you go. I can even show it. Hold on. These are just the things I just picked up. I also decided to double down on hammer and staff for now. I remembered that the boss fight against the final boss of the House of Ballads questline is actually considered by a lot of people to be the hardest boss in this game. Mostly because you do it at a low level before you're super busted. So I said, let's make sure we kind of double down on our build to give us the most advantage we can possibly get before we go and do that. And so I went and respec'd again. I just put stuff into hammer and staff. We're putting a whole bunch of points into sorcery now that we weren't putting in before. I'm going to get a summon. So, excuse me. So we'll see how it goes. Screaming at the super boss in Super Dungeon Final Fantasy V now that you can play it again. Help me, I'm lost. I wish I could. I think I only ever went through the Super Dungeon once myself, and I definitely got lost like multiple times in the process of doing it. So I wish I could help you, but I got nothing. I barely even remember the place, so probably scrubbed it from my memory.
We Fate Weavers never fully understood the power of this place. Seems there's a lot we don't understand.
Well, I think it's mostly my fault in this case, right? Because you guys never had to worry about thinking for yourselves. Now you have no choice. Oh, hello.
Gods, I should have brought another bottle.
So those are Niskaru, huh? Alright then. Interesting. I don't think it's a good idea to use your fate on these guys, though. They are a new enemy, but I don't think it's a good idea to use it on them. If I remember correctly, there's another enemy coming up where it'll be better to use it on them. Whoa. Well, that was an interesting harpoon interaction. Haven't seen that before. The Niskaru were pretty easy in my impression, though, because they telegraph their attacks pretty easily for you to deal with. So, but we didn't have to worry about that because they're dead. So. Oh yeah, and I also remembered the ancient hammer technique of my forefathers, Marie, which is light attack, shield cancel. Repeat that for an infinite combo. Isn't this game's mechanics super in-depth?
With it, the Fae taught the Fate Weavers the answers to the deepest mysteries of fate.
Ah, so that's why that lady at the House of Ballads was a Fate Weaver, because they probably started the tradition. Okay, fair enough. So just touch the stone?
Just put your hand on the Destiny Stone. It'll show me where you fit into the tapestry of fate.
Alright then, I'll keep that in mind. So just touch the stone. Got it. That thing is very slow swing speed. You are literally throwing it around like it's super light and easy to use. I mean, to be fair, it's a wooden hammer, so it's probably lighter than most, unless it's made from like some super heavy bark. But it is considered the quote-unquote slowest weapon in the game by the game's mechanics. Like, by the game's own words, hammers are the slowest weapons in the game. That's not true. Great swords are, based on swing speed, but no, hammers are pretty solid. They're a lot faster than their speed lets on. Their speed stat lets on. and they do good damage just from the regular old light attacks. You can shield cancel after 2 swings, and the enemy will still be staggering by the time you start swinging again. So I don't know what this game is on, but hammers are not slow in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. They're like those wrestlers, right? That used to be in professional wrestling, where they'd say they were slow, but like they'd look like they were slow because they were heavier dudes, but then they'd be like ridiculously fast, and they just jump at people and smack the hell out of them because they're really strong and really fast at the same time, and it's a combination you wouldn't want to face down. So anyway, let's go touch this stone. Well, Agarth, was it supposed to do
The
that?
Destiny Stone came apart at your touch.
Whoops.
And all around you, the tapestry of fate, unweaving itself. And
Sorry?
there at the core was the Codex of Destiny. The wisdom that the Fae used to help the first Fate Weavers understand the nature of the weave.
So did I just King Arthur the Destiny Stone?
See what this means?
Not particularly. No, that I broke your Fate Rock.
Ha! A small price to pay for the Codex of Destiny. If we can find a way to read that, it might help us understand something about you.
I could ask the House of Ballads.
But
They
for
might be
now,
able to understand it.
just understand this. You're changing the fate of everyone you meet.
Yeah,
That could
that's...
make you more powerful than anything that's walked this world.
Well, gee, thanks for making me feel chosen. It's not like I wasn't already beating the shit out of everything. Do you think... Is it dangerous? What kind of a question is that?
As dangerous as an open flame. You could help people or destroy them entirely.
I mean, didn't you kill a boss that was supposed to kill someone else? Yes. We killed a boss that was supposed to kill Agarth here. So, yeah. We can change the fate of everything around us.
And that means I owe you... Wait. What's that?
I don't know. Let's turn the camera out of the cutscene so we can find out. Oh, the Tuatha.
Abomination! In the name of Godflaw!
Nice save. Now let's see if we can take care of the rest. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of them, so I would definitely recommend fate moding this one and just spinning to win. Because, Jesus Christ! And that's like 8 dudes that we just got. I probably should have drank an experience booster. I might be able to still do it. I can. Goodbye. I'll take all that, thank you. Well, that was supposed to be the boss fight. I got pants, yes! Oh, okay, they're not... They don't have the poison resistance, but they're much better on the defense, so I'm kind of okay with that.
Who are you? How do we know you're not working with the Tuatha?
Trust me, if she was working with the
I don't
Tuatha,
care
we'd be
if you
dead.
Trust me. I'm much more interested in your friend here.
Yeah, you say that to all the teenage boys they sold this game to, don't you? Oh good, some Essence of Fate, nice. I'll take that.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
I'm beginning to think that these Tuatha don't like you. Now why do you think that might be?
I don't know, maybe it's my
After all,
keen
Someone
disposition.
who can change the fate of the world. Who wouldn't want you?
So they wanted to use me for this stuff? How much of what we just talked about did you hear?
Enough to know you're something special. Far more interesting than you were before you died. And that's saying quite a bit.
So you knew me before I
Now
died?
It's my turn. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Question for a question. We needed to understand what was going on with my fate. We understand even less now than we did when we got here, though.
Ha! Knowing the future is for fools. Who reads the end of a book?
If that was a
when it's
boss fight?
time?
It was supposed to be.
Save
yes.
your attention for the present. Like that codex you found? Our scholars thought those were all gone from the world. But you're just full of surprises.
Nothing up my sleeve
Never
unless it's
understand
in there
it.
and I don't know it, because
That's
that could
knowledge.
actually be a
They
thing.
don't even have a written language.
Oh,
The stone is simply embedded with what they know. Unseeable to mortals.
so how do we get the knowledge out of it?
Normally, I'd suggest looking in Issa. But the Fae are not fond of unexpected guests.
Fair enough, so...
Don't look so sad. There's still hope. When you're ready, Meet me at the House of Ballads.
Okay, fair enough. I was actually going to go there anyway, you know, before I turned in the quest to respec. Anyway.
We can't trust her. Never met a Darklfar who'd give me a straight answer, even with a sword at their throat.
Agarth, that's
So what is wrong
racist.
about that codex? Just be careful doing anything she suggests.
She's not so bad.
Meanwhile,
She doesn't
we
seem
can't
like it
just
anyway.
ignore the
She's just your
Dwarf
typical
trapping
rogue.
them. We need to do something about them.
If it wasn't for the fact that the both of you kind of suck in combat, I could be a mage, and then we could have the trifecta, because you could be the warrior, she could be the rogue, and I could be the mage. How do we find these Tuatha?
She said they came through Didenhill, didn't she? They don't
Not to me, I
belong
don't
in
think.
these lands, so they probably left a trail wide as an Eden's backside.
Fair enough.
Meet me there, and we'll track them down. Maybe we can find out why they're after you. Or at least how they can find you so easily.
Yeah, because I'd kind of like to
I've got
know
some
as well.
final rites to perform before I leave this place.
Alright, fair
Good
enough.
luck.
Oh, look at that. We've leveled up again, and Didenhill has been added to our map with old friends, new foes. That's the next main quest that we can go do. One of the next main quests. Like I said before, it splits into two here. You can either go with Agarth to Didenhill first, or you can go and join Aelin Shear, who is at the House of Ballads. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to Agarth's first, because that's a little bit less out of the way, basically. Like, Aelin Shear, she'll take you to the House of Ballads, but then she'll take you into Haxie, which is where I need to go for the house's next quest anyway. So I'll just take care of Agarth's stuff first, and then we'll work with Aelin Shear after that. And then once you've done both of their quests, they reconverge, and you end up going to Issa anyway, if I recall correctly. So, isn't that a classic writing tech? Always give more questions than answers until you're ready to move the plot forward. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's the gist. The game gives questions, and it does eventually give some answers, but I just wish that it went a little more in depth with a lot of them. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, here's the Codex of Destiny that we just grabbed, so that's cool. Nice little paperweight in my inventory for a little while. What are we doing at this level anyway? This is what, level 11, I think? We did Detect Hidden 6 and 7. We're doing Blacksmithing 5. Hey, you have 50k now. How rich is that? So it's pretty rich for this point in the game, but if you've been selling stuff that you don't need that's like blue or green or purple in color in its name, you probably have about the same amount, honestly. We're going to need 15,000 to buy a level of Mercantile pretty soon. And I know that the most money that I'll ever need is going to be near the end game, because I'm going to need about 370,000 gold to buy the last 3 accessories that I need. Because as it turns out, you can't actually blacksmith accessories in this game, so you can't craft them. But one of the NPCs in the last major town that you go to in the game before the final push to the end game sells the 3 best accessories in the game outside of like random loot drops. So cool, I'll just buy them. Unfortunately, he sells them for like a lot of money. They're very expensive, but we'll figure that part out. It's fine. All right, it's Blacksmithing 5. And we want the last 2 levels of Mark of Flame, so we can use those to just blast people with. We can now tag up to 5 targets, and when you use it, it deals 220 fire damage at one time. It costs a lot to use and execute, to be fair, but that's a lot of fire damage in an area where almost everything is weak to fire. Actually, I want to correct something I said before. I said the only thing that's not weak to fire is the Sprite Flame Champions. That's not true. We fought a troll earlier on, and the troll was not weak to fire if you had fire at that point. I don't know if you could, though, to be fair. But that troll had the same resistances as trolls later in the game where they are not weak to fire, so that's technically the correct answer. Anyway, Conservative Casting 2, we'll get 3, 4, and 5 at the next level, and we'll stick with Wayfarer. Alright, we grabbed all the fancy stuff from in here as far as I'm aware. I grabbed the stuff in the chest, I didn't see anything else, so let's head out here. See if those Etten respawned, and if they did not, cool. We'll go back to Canarok, we'll sell our stuff, we'll buy some more potions, and then we will head out for Didenhill. Now, you could use this Arathi Sigil Stone to open this door if you don't have Detect Hidden level 5. If you do have Detect Hidden level 5, you can just open the door directly from here. And it does the same thing as the Sigil Stone would have done, which is open this up. I don't know why it's a hidden door. It's not like you could get up here anyway. But... ah, okay. And it can close the door back down if you opened it yourself. Alright, fair enough. Waste 10 extra seconds, why not? Man, I clash a little bit now, don't I, with these steel gauntlets and pants. I think I need to get something in a little bit closer to the trim, the gold trim that I've got in the armor that I got there. Although, to be fair, the armor that I got, I actually found a yellow set of armor in a puddle in Ettenmere. It's this thing, Belen's Cuirass. Extra chance to stun. It's a set piece, though, so like if you get the other pieces of the set, which are all randomly found in loot, you'd get all these extra bonuses, including extra elemental damage, stun duration, piercing damage. All good stuff, but nothing that I'll probably be able to take advantage of because the likelihood of me finding another piece of those things is not very high. So, you know, got to use the reverse psychology, though, just in case it decides it wants to drop them for me. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. You know what to do, game. Oh, and another reason why I want to go to Dighton Hill first, by the way, because I kind of said, you know, well, it's a little less out of the way. But on top of that, Dighton Hill is also the home of the first crafting hall in the game. I think you could go into Shieldring Keep, and if you joined the Warsworn, you'd gain access to that one earlier, if I remember correctly. But this is the first one that you can get without being in the Warsworn. And they might have some halfway decent components for us to use for actually building out weapons and armor. I'm not going to be blacksmithing for a little bit yet, not until we get ready. Like, basically, once we're done with the House of Ballads quests, then I'll be ready to start blacksmithing. We're just going to use what I find until then, because I think it makes it more challenging when we go against what a lot of people consider to be the hardest boss in the game without really being fully, completely prepared. So, alright, so we can go up to Shieldring Keep, and then we can go through this way and end up in Glendara, which is where Dighton Hill is, and we'll go from there. First things first, though, let's go to Canrock, see what time it is. They named a tribe of humanity after a Jotun word. Well, that's unfortunate for the Varani. What time is it? 2:04 a.m. Time for bed. Once again. We'll restore our health while we wait for everybody else to wake up, so I'm not just wandering into their house in the middle of the night and waking them all up. Which we could do, to be fair, but... this game's got a day-night cycle. Why not use it, right? That'll be 8:15-ish by this time. So let's just go to 9 something, because then I know they'll be awake. So, excuse me. Not really sure why this game has a day-night cycle. It might just be to add realism to the area, I guess. But I don't know. It's just kind of there. It doesn't really do a whole lot, but it's there, I guess. All right, good. I've got 2 of these left. I needed 2, so I'll just take both of them. And anything here that I don't need. I think the shield I can get rid of. And these. I don't know. You know, I'm kind of cool with this talisman, though, honestly. Like, I like the Canny Kite shield because it's just an upgrade from what we've got, but this matches my hammer, so, like I said before, so I'll just keep that, I think. And then these are all good to go for now. I have some consumables I can put in junk. I'll put this Greater Healing Potion in there for now, because I don't... Well, actually, no, I should need that now that I think about it. Let's just take that out. Because eventually the minor ones aren't going to be good enough, so obviously we'll be switching to the... whatchamacallits. The Greater Healing Potions, and I think the ones after that are Master Healing Potions, if I remember right. So... You misread that at first and saw 11 block damage. You were like, there's block damage? technically speaking, you can inflict damage with your shield. But you need level 5 shield skill in order to do it, because you don't get shield bash until then. And it just deals physical damage, so it's not really anything too interesting, I
It
guess.
reminds me that I'm still alive. Stay alert.
But yeah, technically there is block damage in this game. It's just it's the same as physical damage, that's all. That little tooltip there about persuasion options reminds me, I don't think I mentioned one of the reasons why I'm not using persuasion at all. And the main reason why I'm not using persuasion at all, well, there's two reasons. One is that we use charisma quite extensively in Fallout 4, which is the last open world game we played, open world Western RPG we played. So I figure, we don't really need to use it this time as well, you know. So that's the first thing. But the second thing is, I think if I remember correctly, I looked on the wiki at one point, and there's only a total of, I think, 41 persuasion checks in the entirety of the base game, including all side quests and all faction quests. And I look at that and I'm like, do I really want to spend up to 10 points on something I'm only going to use approximately once per hour? Because I don't really think I want to. So we're not really going to invest in persuasion. You can get some little rewards out of it, but as far as I'm aware, it never like prevents a fight or something like that. If you have to fight something, you just end up fighting them anyway, even if you persuade them into giving you stuff. Usually it's just additional dialogue or maybe like an extra reward or something that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So it's not really very effective persuasive techniques, you know. So, all right. I think I just needed one of these because I have enough of the health potions at this point, so I won't need to worry about those. All right, I think I'm done, Siloretta. Thank you. You too. All right. So now we'll go up to Shieldring Keep, and we will head over to Dyden Hill. And I forget if the little stopping point that I want to do, because there's a stop-off point I'd like to make. And I don't remember if it's in this little section in between Yulvin and Glendara, or if it's... I think this is it right here, because this forest is where the stopping point is, but I could be wrong about that. I guess we're going to find out. I do need to go up here at some point, though, into this little corner, because there's actually something that I need to get up there that will help our skills, so... But we'll see if the stopping point is here. If it is, then we'll stop off, and we'll buy a couple of things. It's not here in Shieldring Keep, but it's up the road this way. If I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Although I do see an exclamation point right there, which is usually a pretty good sign. Oh, that was one of the antelope. Okay. Oh, never mind. Different person than I thought it was going to be. That's fine. So probably it's not this area then. But no big deal. Yeah, so as soon as you see that word Glendara pop up there, what just happened was, why the game loaded and stuttered for a second is because it level locked this entire region. So now everything in this area is level 11. So... or plus or minus 3 levels there. I think it's actually usually minus 3 levels rather than plus. I don't think it favors the plus unless it's like high-end enemies. So, but it level locked the area, and it also locked in the loot that I can get in this area. So, that being said, these Red Legion being in gray, definitely minus 3 on the level. Rather than plus 3. Athene's Wisdom. A Boggart Plaguebearer that they probably killed before I got here. Cool. Athene's Wisdom, what does that do? Let's go take a look. Oh, he's still got third and... oh, no, that's just his blessing, not charge. Okay. 15% status effect durations and 20% experience bonus. That is nice. I'll have to keep that in mind because that would be pretty good to grab anytime we see it. I forget exactly how long it lasts. I think it lasts about 5 minutes in real time, but I could be wrong about that. Either way, it's a little tricky to like grab it and then go back to a place and then use it for a boss fight or something. That doesn't usually work out too well. I mean, you could do it, but I don't know. I don't usually have much luck with it. What do we got down here? Dive spot. Whoops. Well, I don't even know what I just took. I think I saw a greater mana potion in there. Oh, an elm staff. Okay, well, we can put that away. The crackling staff does mostly the same thing. Ring of Ice Aversion. Put that away as well. And yeah, a greater mana potion. Okay, so once you get above level 10, so probably like 11 and above, hard chest, that's probably where you're going to be starting to find these greater potions, and then you'll probably find the other ones later. So, Helm of the Remedy. So this is a helmet upgrade. It's the same as in terms of the damage resistance is the one we've got, but it's a tier higher if I remember correctly. So let's take a look. Yeah, that's fine. At least we're kind of all together now in terms of our gear. And now, let's take a look at the local area. A few brownies, nothing too special. Boggart Plaguebearer, some Red Legion bandits. But Dighton Hill's over here. And this, actually, if I remember right, yeah, that's the crafting hall right there. So that's what we want to go look for. And we will head there, well, once we take care of these brownies, I guess. And probably this Red Legion, these Red Legion people as well, since I'm already right next to them. I might as well take care of them, you know. I don't know what you were planning just there, probably just a knife swing, but you're not planning it anymore. St. Hadwin's Beads, White Flake to Brother Fallon at 2. I believe those start a side quest, if I remember correctly. And it's a side quest that I don't feel like doing, so I'm not gonna bother with that. I will take whatever's in this overturned cart, though. Plague Shield. Medicine that could be used by a skilled healer. Okay, interesting. I will keep that in mind. Alright, well, we got a lore stone and some brownies, so I might as well grab it and grab the brownies and then
As the tree
head off to
roots into
Dighton
the
Hill.
earth, the tendrils of thoughts twist to the soul. As the fire renews the root, the birth and labors produce the goal. As the mantis climbs to its mate,
Thought I
the
just
heart
heard something
outstretches
else.
to her fair hand. As
Troll
the
or
hunter
something.
kills its prey, beside this hill he crafts from sand.
Oh, okay. Some wolves. That's what I heard. Okay, well, I was gonna swing at the other guys, but I guess I won't. I'll just wait. That's another thing about talismans, by the way, is that they, when you block an enemy with them, they inflict whatever status the shield has on it on the enemy that you're blocking. So, like, in this case, it's a fire talisman. So whenever an enemy attacks me and I parry them, they get burned. So that's kind of nice. Can be useful. Gotta be careful in Dighton Hill, in the Dighton Hill area, in the Glendara region, because if I remember correctly, there's a lot of like ambush spawns like that, where there'll be just a couple of enemies, and then you'll fight them, and then all of a sudden just a whole bunch of other enemies just show up and decide they want to take your bacon. So, don't let them take your bacon.
Good day.
Hello. Just passing through, don't want no trouble. Nothing in this well? It's just a well this time. Alright, fair enough. That's not Agarth. I think if I remember right, you can use that Plague Shield for one of the side quests around here, but I think you have to go collect a whole bunch of it, so I don't remember. I guess I can check on it and see if it's considered a quest item, even though I don't have the quest. So, it would be in here somewhere. Not there. There it is. And yeah, you can't add it to junk, as you can see here. So until you... I think there's a healing house, if I remember correctly, in this town. So until you take it to the healer, I don't think you can get rid of it. So
Hello.
It'll just kind of sit in your inventory, which is a little unfortunate.
Welcome to our famed craft hall. If you've come to buy, you may speak with Olin or myself.
Cool. Let's see what you guys have. And I'll sell my garbage while I'm thinking about it. Anything else I need to sell here? Not that. I can sell that, though. I just sold a whole bunch of stuff, though, so I don't think I'll have too much to sell here. And I've got a whole bunch of materials myself, anyway. I probably don't actually need that iron guard, though, because here's the thing. So the iron guard that we have down here, it won't let me scroll just by holding down the button, so I have to mash. This is the primary component of making a shield. This is considered a core component, like it says there. Now, unfortunately, iron guards can only ever make iron shields, which are the tier 1 shields. So if you want to make a better shield beyond that, you're going to need to get a steel guard or a, I think there's, the other ones are azurite guards and stuff like that. So you'll need to get a higher tier of guard before you can make a better shield out of this. As it stands now, this one can only ever be an iron one, so it's not going to really help us all that much. So because that's the case, I'm going to get rid of it. And, yeah, we might as well see what they've got going on here. I don't know if she's the one that sells the components, though. I think it's her husband that sells the components. If I remember correctly. Booming Staff of the Soothsayer. Stun duration. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. Yeah, that can't really compare to the one that we've already got, so we'll just leave that there. These are... they're pretty good. Extra health and bleeding resistance, that's not terrible. Is it worth me paying $2,700 for them? Yeah, probably, to be honest, but I don't know if I'd care that much. We just got a whole bunch of upgrades anyway, so... 3% physical damage? No, thank you. And that's fine. You have some consumables that might be worth my while. But I think I have all of my... Yeah, I still have all my health and mana regen potions. It's nice to know that I can just buy them off of you, though, to be fair. Okay, so you've just got random stuff beyond that. And, yeah, okay. So you don't have the materials.
Come back anytime.
I will attempt to, but Olin, I think, is your husband, and he's the one I'm looking for.
Reisberg Arms and Armors, blacksmithing on premises.
All right, then. I would like to see what you have, Crafter. Yeah, his miscellaneous is full of stuff, so we'll go take a look at that in a second. Fancy steel hammers here. 15% chance to deal 5 health per hit and 13 poison damage. But yeah, these are a little bit better in terms of raw DPS than the Earth Gavel, but I don't think we need them all that badly, to be honest. I think the Earth Gavel will be enough to keep us going. Warrior's Curse of Dismantling. This is actually better. This is genuinely better than the Belen's Curse. It's the chance to stun is nice on it, but the extra health and physical damage, honestly, is probably better. And then there's, first of all, it repairs easier. Second of all, it actually has +1 armor on it, and it gives me 10 health. So I might actually genuinely buy that, because honestly, I think Belen's Curse would probably just offset the cost of it when I sell it, to be honest. And I should probably also buy those, now that I think about it. We got pretty much everything else just a minute ago, so... So you've got some cool stuff, and I'm going to take some of it while I'm here. Alright, so that takes care of that. Not a whole lot for other characters besides Might. There's a little bit of stuff in there for casters, but not a whole lot for finesse, so... Alright, so now, here's what you want to look for. When you're looking in the miscellaneous stuff for components, these are the ones that I am personally looking for. We're looking for stuff with the damaging prefix, the damaging prefix, the sharpening prefix for weapons. Those are the ones. And then we're looking for Divine Binding, Sustaining Grips, Sustaining Rivets. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So mostly just looking for stuff that increases damage, but also looking for stuff with the Divine prefix, Sustaining prefix. Both of those are pretty good. We'll see if we've got any of them here. It doesn't look like it so far. I think it would probably be here if it was Divine. So, Slaughtering rivets, those aren't really what we're looking for, unfortunately. Here's some basic damaging stuff. All these do is give you a % damage boost, which is not really great, but 10% damage is nothing to sneeze at either, so I would definitely recommend considering getting these. Let me just check my weapon components here. I need a damaging shaft, damaging fulcrum, damaging hilt, damaging bindings, damaging grip, and damaging rivets. So I guess I'll take the grip and the bindings. Pillager's shaft. Okay, so that's just damage versus a certain type of enemy. Rallying grips aren't too bad either because they give you that physical damage but also a set amount of health. If it was a percentage of health, it'd probably be better later in the game, but since it's just a flat amount of health, it's not really something that I care too much about. Here's some sustaining rivets, though. And the reason why these are nice is because these give you extra health regen. As it stands now, you have about 0.1 health regen per second normally, but these will give you a little bit more, and they stack with each other, so you can use other sustaining components in your weapons and armor, and eventually it sort of snowballs, and you end up with a lot of health regen per second. If I remember correctly, by the time we finish the game, I'd like to have, I think without factoring in any sustaining stuff on my armor at all, we'll have 11 HP per second for health regen. I think. I could be wrong about that. But that's nothing to sneeze at. That will keep us healthy in the interim between fights. So we got basic damaging shaft as well. Let's see here. Anything else that I might want? And he does have the base components as well, it looks like, from the leather stuff that's here. Although this leather stuff is really only going to be able to make light armor of the first tier. So that's not really great, but it's there. Okay, so we want some sustaining stuff. So let's buy these two. I probably won't need both of them, but I'm going to grab them anyway, just for the hell of it. Just so I have them all in my inventory, you know. We'll grab the sustaining ones as well. And we'll grab these damaging bindings and grips. And now, the reason why I want to buy all of them, even if I don't need them, is just so that way, if I make a mistake and I have to make a new weapon or something like that, or if we just never come across other damaging components ever again, it's fine. You know, then I don't have to worry about it. I've just got them in my inventory, and we'll be good to go. So now that being said, I can probably sell a whole bunch of the other components that I know I'm never going to use, like this one. And those are steel blades, actually. I might use those. Magnifying fulcrum. We don't really need chance to... Well, chance to crit's not terrible. I'll sell these, though. We won't need those or those. Or those. Those are just, like, the simplest ones. The ones that you can get for... I might keep those magnifying rivets, too. The basic stuff, the novice bindings and stuff like that, or simple bindings and all that, those are just going to give you a little bit of basic extra flat damage bonus on top, and it's not really anything great, so I can get rid of that. Do I need a critical hit damage handle? I don't remember what you use for daggers, whether you use handles or not, so I guess I'll just keep those. We don't need shocking. Expansive lining, I don't need that. Fire ward trim, no thank you. Sage rivets, nope. And these are the ones that we bought. And the components are, I guess, in here somewhere as well. It says we bought those, but... Okay, I don't know where they went. I'm sure they're in my inventory, though.
So long.
Thank you, sir. Let's go see. Component case, here we go. Yeah, there they are. So they show up in here. They're just not, they don't show up in the bought and sold list, I guess. That's fine. All right, well, now we're a little bit more matching, and we'll be even more matching right now. There we go, full set of steel armor, I think. Actually, no, that's a chainmail helmet now that I look at it, but it's okay. No big deal. And now we can see just how much all of that sells for. Probably, like I said, we'll probably get... Oh, I can just take some of these. Nice. Anything I'm interested in? Magnifying bindings. Frosted fulcrum. I guess you could use this to make a frost staff. Chainmail headdress. I've already got a chainmail helmet, so none of that's anything I'm particularly interested in. Alright, then.
If you know which end to hold, I've got a...
I'm sure you do. Here, have these. Okay, well, that sold us back up above 50,000, so nice. That will help.
So long.
Alright, so anyway, now that we're done in the crafting hall, actually, I think there's one more chest that I could go look in over here and see if they've got anything interesting in here. Let's see. That's a desk. Okay, well, it doesn't look like... Yeah, I could loot this one, but it's considered stealing, so I'm not going to. And then here is the sage crafting altar as well. So if you already have your sage crafting up, you can use that to make some gems. I don't have my sage crafting up at the moment because we can't even actually use gems until we get to level 7 blacksmithing, which seems like a bit of an oversight if you ask me. But yeah, so we're not going to do anything with gems until we get our blacksmithing up high enough to actually benefit from using and creating gems. So, but right now I'm just kind of saving up for later so that I have them, you know.
The waters of Loch Dyden. Such a lovely sight.
Now here's my question. Astrid Frisk, villager, healer's cottage. So I think actually the plague shield...
I'm sorry,
Ah, here we go.
There's no plague shield left.
It's this quest right here.
No, at all.
I'm sorry. There simply isn't any more. It's gone.
About that.
I'm sorry, but I'm simply out of plague shield. There's nothing I can do for you or anyone else till I have it. Blasted blood plague.
What's the blood plague?
Normally, I'd say it's not as bad as it sounds. Doesn't kill most of the time, just weakens. Only half the village has it now, and a bedridden village starves sooner or later.
Maybe I should have worn a mask before coming here. So do you use this to cure people?
It treats the blood plague, which almost all of Dydenhill's sick with just now.
Great.
Brother Fallon should have come with more. Can't think where he is.
I found this plague shield.
Brother Fallon dead on the road?
There's also that,
This
though.
is terrible. We don't want anyone else to die. Please, the other parcels. Perhaps they are nearby in the forest. Find them if you can.
Okay, sure. They're probably in the directions that I need to go anyway, so...
I don't know. In the forest, perhaps up the road, or in the hands of the villains who killed poor sweet Brother Fallon.
I will go and see if I can find them, then.
Matharo bless you.
So yeah, there's 3 plague shield all over the place in the forest. There's one up that way and one up that way. And we do actually need to go over here. We don't need to do anything with Brother Udo, the sage crafting altar, any of that, but this hidden well here actually has an item that I'd like to go grab. Before we do any of that, though, let's head inside of the militia house so we can go, or actually it's just the inn, but fair enough. We want to go talk to Agarth while we're here because he'll give us a quest to go wandering up north in Glendara anyway.
This tells me that your tavern will be a part of Loch Dyden for decades to come.
Last month you told me that the plague would take us all.
I know, but that's not what fate says anymore.
Damn it, Agarth. You're cut off.
No more drinking.
Yeah, and I bet I know whose fault that is.
Yeah, the same guy that wandered in here just as soon as you were telling her her fate.
It's your fault that I can't pay my tab, you know? I wasn't ever supposed to come back here in the first place.
Have you ever considered that you have a
I've spent the
drinking
last
problem,
20 years
Agarth?
knowing what fate had in store for me, and then you... Damn it. I thought I had my life figured out.
Evidently not. To be fair, it wasn't an attempt to be harmful.
I know. It's just... I wasn't always the man I am now. In my youth, I was quite the warrior. I fought beasts the size of trees, was celebrated by mortals and fae alike. When I was initiated into the Fate Weavers, I thought it was a reward for my good deeds.
Yeah, evidently
The first
not,
time
huh?
I saw my own fate, I realized it was nothing but a curse.
Why did you look at your own fate anyway? Why would you ever want to know what's in your own fate? You saw your death, of course, right?
My own death, of course. But not a hero's death as I had always dreamed. I was going to die alone and unknown. Killed by an Etin and used for stew.
How much meat could they really pull off of your bones? Humans are pretty stringy, man.
Then you came and changed that future. You stole my part in the tapestry. I was at peace with knowing the worst. But what do I do now that there's nothing to know?
go out and become an adventurer. You can still be a hero. There's nothing stopping you from doing that now.
You're right. My glory days don't have to be over. And as long as I'm around you, I don't know how my story will end. That means I've got to make sure you stay around in one piece. Maybe this old trinket from my youth will help. After all, I don't just owe you my life. I owe you my future.
Well, it ain't no big thing. So we got a student signet from Agarth there. I don't remember what that one does. But we'll see what it does in a moment. I'll find out whether it's going to be helping me pay for his tab or I'm going to put it on. Any luck finding the Tuatha? I know you've been here for like 10 minutes, but...
Why, I once tracked the Yeth of Avgrun on a moonless night by smell alone.
I don't know what any of that is, Agarth.
I could have tracked those Tuatha sober. They've set up in a cavern north of town, complete with some way of scrying your location. That's how they found you so easily.
Sounds like we should unscry that, then.
It'll take the both of us to work.
Alright, fair enough. I'm game. I guess this is a fair question. How did they get this far west without anybody knowing?
They took a big risk getting across Erethel undetected. All to attack one single objective. You.
Great.
They're using something big to track you. They call it the Eyes of Tirnoch. Smash it, and they won't be following you anymore.
Nice. Good
The
work.
main entrance is heavily guarded, and will require a strong attack. The other route is trapped. It'll need a subtler approach.
Well, in case you haven't noticed, neither one of us are in particularly light and sneaky armor. So we'll probably end up fighting through the front. But so they're after me because I can change fate, right?
I don't have an answer for that. I can't imagine what about you made Gadflow send his troops across the continent.
You can't? Because I can. I just said it. We'll fight through the front.
Straightforward and direct. A warrior after my own heart.
I don't have this 200-pound wooden hammer on my back for nothing, after all.
Whoever sent them here. Let's track down some trouble.
So now Agarth will head straight north to our destination up in Dyden Hill. It says you want to follow him to the Hunter's Pit. I might just let him go himself, to be honest. Because I've got more important things to do around Dyden Hill before I even head to the Hunter's Pit. I might actually just take him there and then go do the other stuff, though, honestly. We shall see. I'm going to see where he goes when he gets out here. Okay, so he'll just run off on his own. Agarth, are you okay? He'll be fine. Anyway, we'll let him figure out how that corner works, and in the meantime, we will head over here.
This is Dyden Hill Village, traveler.
Thank you, I'm aware of that already. Okay, we can't go in the river over here at the moment. That lady is looking out at this river, though, and there's an important reason why. There's actually something out there, if I remember correctly. I could be misremembering where this stuff is. And look, there's some enemies over here in the Lorestone. So let's take care of them first, and then we can figure out if I'm going in the right direction or not. What am I looking? Oh, a bear. Oh, 2 bears. Okay. Yeah, always want to try to get your bleed up first with Shadow Flare. If you're following in my footsteps and using relatively the same stuff I'm using, getting bleed up first is a really good idea because, as I mentioned in the previous episode, bleed decreases the enemy's defense by 33%. So if you get them bleeding with Shadow Flare, you're going to be inflicting big damage.
I will never be your lover, yet I will make a likeness of your loveliness, your sun-kissed face, your moonlit eyes. I found a crest of sand, from which I will give my love true form.
Why not just love the actual person, then, if you're gonna go to all that trouble? Alright then, nice. Harbinger's Armor. Oh, and we get a steel helmet as well, nice. It's right here. So now we have full steel set on. Awesome. And, I mean, to be fair, that's basically the armor set that they were using on the battlefields. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So Gadflow and the Tuatha normally aren't found in this region. They apparently tracked all the way west to Alistar Tower, but normally they're found all the way out here on this side of the sea, over by Mel Senshir and further south. You go south of Cluricon, past the Kylid coast, and you end up in Alabastra, the home of the Winter Fae. And inside of Twilight Pass and in Bylay, this is where Gadflow's castle is. That's where all the Tuatha are coming from. So them trekking all the way across this continent that it's taking me a painfully long time to scroll the cursor across is kind of unheard of. But I can change the fate of everything around me, whereas no one else in the world can do that. So that might be a good enough reason for them to want to come running all the way across the continent to find me. By the way, this section here is considered a hidden passage. Or, excuse me, let me get more H.C. Bailey with it. A secret passage! So we're going to go take a look at what's in here. Some Issa's breath. That's not the main concern, though. Go here. And you can loot the Dirge's bedroll to find Dirge's dancing shoes. These are the first in a set of 5 pieces of armor that you can find across the entire game in hidden sections of the map. You'll need your Detect Hidden skill to be high enough to find most of them. These are kind of a freebie, but you'll need to find them through hidden doors and in loot caches that you can find with the level 2 Detect Hidden skill, that sort of stuff. But if you're planning on doing a Universalist build, so a jack of all trades, a little might, a little finesse, a little sorcery, these are considered some of the best armor in the game for you because you don't have to bother crafting them. You can just find them on the map. Now, granted, you only find one piece every so often because, well, they're strewn all over the place from now until the end of the game. But they form a complete set, even though they're not from the same people. They're from 5 different people, and they kind of go together. They're considered a set in the game's files, but they don't like have an aesthetic match to them. Like these are kind of have these gold trim to them, and then the body armor has no gold trim. So if you ask me, it looks pretty gaudy. But again, this way you don't have to make your own armor if you're planning on playing a Universalist build. So if you're doing Jack of all trades, so there you go. But this is where you find the first piece. I'm going to stick it in junk because it'll be worth a pretty penny, but I'm not going to need it. I'm blacksmithing, so I'll be able to make my own armor. I'm sorry for fangirling over Tebby. Don't be sorry about that. I've only heard the music in the demo, and it's all a bop, even the shopping theme. That is a good thing, though. That means that you will never be bored when you are playing that. So, all right. So now we'll go up Myryl's path to get out of here because it's the only way out of here without fast traveling. And there's a few enemies in here if I remember right. So it'll give us something to do. Oh, I thought that was a trap for a second. I was like, what the hell is that? Not quite a trap. I was trapped for a second there. I was trapped on my surroundings. Red Legion? What are you guys doing here? Nothing good, I can promise you that. Okay, game. I was hoping I'd get out of the way there, but that's fine. Actually, our Detect Hidden skill is coming in handy right now because you may be able to see in the top right corner, Crude Oak Staff, that's the next tier. It's too bad it's lightning damage. If it was fire damage, that'd be fantastic, but oh well. That's tier 3 weapon right there. So hopefully we'll start getting some more tier 3 stuff pretty soon. Because Alma's tier 2. But yeah, you see those orange things on the minimap there? Those are traps. So if we walk up to them, they will spring, and I think we'll be able to disarm them. Yeah, there we go. If we walk up to them, so just mash the X button when you're getting close, and you should be able to disarm them. Although I think that's giving me some stuff. Oh yeah, the student signet. Okay, well that's pretty crap. Sorry, Agarth, but that's not really going to help me. I'm mashing X, so probably the components that I just grabbed from them are... I think those are the steel blades I had. Okay, I got these flamed bindings. That's one of the things that I just got. But yeah, so generally speaking, they'll give you a few little components. Not usually anything incredible, but it's something nonetheless. And it's worth it to have your detect hidden high enough to actually see those traps, because then you can, and actually it's high, if it's high enough to disarm them for components, that's great too, because then you get more components that you wouldn't have otherwise. And you might find some pretty good stuff, because if your blacksmithing skill is high enough, you'll start getting some pretty premium goods. So, hang on, before I jump down, I just want to make sure I didn't miss any treasure chests or something up here. Doesn't look like I did. Yeah, no, that's just rocks. Alright then. So if we head south from here, we can end up in Haxie, but we don't want to go to Haxie at the moment. We want to follow Agarth, since he doesn't appear to be leaving Dyden Hill without me. So we'll follow him. Take him to the Hunter's Pit, and then once we're done with that, we can go take care of finding the extra plague shield, so that the villagers don't die of the blood plague. I don't know if that's better or worse than dying of the blood rage. Oh, I guess Agarth killed something. Nice, good work, Agarth. Let me get over there before he steals the rest of my experience points. Unlimited sprint was a mistake. Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know. It just seems like a mistake to me, but what do I know, right? Alright, what are you getting all up in odds about here? The boggarts? Really? Oh, okay. Well. There we go. By the way, Mark of Flame will automatically stun enemies that it hits, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so probably... And I don't know why Agarth decides to pick the path of most resistance through here. There's almost always just a ton of enemies in the areas that he goes to, but what do I know, right? That being said, if you can kind of dismantle them like I just did, that's pretty good. Oop, hang on. Another enemy back here. There we go. Just wait and see if they drop any items before I go there. I think I'm going to use a couple of potions just to top myself off before we continue. Are Barghest over there? No, those are just boggarts. Alright then. So we'll take, like I said, we'll take Agarth to where he wants to go. And then once we've taken him up here, we'll work on this other stuff with the plague shield. Passing up quite a few treasures in the process, but Agarth can wait for me at this point. If I can find this. Oh, it's probably over here. Okay, nothing too good, but that's fine. Oh, the boggarts have followed us. Nice. Oh, yeah, I forgot they get up and they do a spin. Well, we just witnessed something that we didn't see yet in the game, as far as I'm aware. If you set an enemy on fire, sometimes they will panic and run around in circles doing nothing, which prevents them from attacking you, so that's kind of nice. It's like the secondary effect of setting enemies on fire. There are other ways to make enemies panic as well, but we'll work on those later. If we get a different ability that can cause panic, that is. We shall see if we do or we don't. Really? A bear? You're gonna go after a bear now, Agarth? I mean, I guess he's in our way. So. Potent longbow. 30 health and 30 mana, that's not bad either. Alright, so.
This is the front entrance. you'll face their strongest guards. So it's no
Maybe I'll
place
just
for
do this
some-
now while we're here.
Find their
That way it's
scrying
done, and then
mirror
we can go do
smash
Brother
it.
Fallon's stuff after.
I'll slip in the back and make sure none of them escape.
Actually, thinking about it, that might be better. Because then I can go to the House of Ballads and get Aelin to go where she's going, and then I can end up going to Haxie, which is where I basically need to go in order to get to the librarian for the House of Ballads anyway. So, why are they after me? I need a reminder. It's been 5 minutes.
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, this
His
is
army
literally
is locked
just
in
the
a
same
siege
thing
from
that he
Lurk.
said
But
before,
small
so...
groups sometimes make their way to Erethdal.
Now
Just
what?
go inside and find those scrying mirrors. Don't worry, I'll be coming along to help.
Alright, you go in the opposite direction and we'll pincer attack them.
I'll see you inside.
Alright, off I go. Into the Hunter's Pit. I don't know where would be a good place in here to use the Fate Bar. I don't think there's a boss in this dungeon, if I remember correctly. I think you kind of just walk directly through all the enemies and then you're good. But we'll find out in a moment if that's the case or not. So I will save, though, just so that way it's taken care of. Excuse me. There is a boss, however, in Aelin Shear's path, if I remember correctly. So if you don't end up using your Fate Bar here, well, you don't need to save it for that, but... Oh, I remember, yeah, so what they do is they, you go through the front entrance and they basically end up having you get bombarded by these archers who all are protected from being damaged by being up on these things here, so... If you just go up, you can kind of whack your way up them and just, you know, prevent yourself from any problems by doing that, so... Okay, that works. Well, that was a slaughter. Crude Azurite Greatsword, a tier 3 weapon. Very nice. So we might actually be replacing Earthgavel if we can find a tier 3, whatchamacallit, hammer. Even though Earthgavel, like I said before, will basically be able to take us through this entire section of the game on its own. That is tier 3 finesse armor, actually. That's nice. I really like tier 3 finesse armor. It's studded leather armor, and I really enjoy the look of it, but obviously at this point we can't use it because, well, we're not a finesse person, so I will just stick that in a junk pile and it will get sold. But eventually it'll be good if we swap over to finesse. I think I mentioned it earlier in the stream, but I don't think you were here, Marie, at the time. So, I have 2 possible builds that I'm planning on using in the end game. One is focused on finesse, and one is focused on might. And I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet, honestly. The build that I've got right now is focused explicitly on killing the final boss of the House of Ballads questline, so it's not really focused on any one particular aspect. But I'm definitely going to switch off of it when we get a little bit further in. So we'll see what I end up picking. I think I'm going to start with finesse just because it's a playstyle that I haven't personally played before. I've played sorcery, and I got kind of bored of it because you're just slinging spells at people. And I've played might a little bit, but might as a part of something else, not might for its own sake, you know. Okay, well, let me go get this guy first before I take care of the rest of you. You know what, might as well pop that while we're at it, too. Glad I got that off before he speared me in the face. That wouldn't have been so good. Some good loot over the course of this whole place, though. So, extra health and mana on those daggers if we needed them. I think you can also go through the back section of the area as well once you're done in here, so you can basically get the loot from both paths. So, that's not bad either. Using up my healing potions, the ones that are quick, but that's okay. Oh, and there's a hidden door in here as well. Nice. Looks like they're sending the reinforcements out, and they've got the boxes in the way so the archer can whack me upside the head while I'm at it. Thank you for letting me just walk past you and murder your long-range friend. That's really nice of you, sir. You didn't have to do that. You know, I've been forgetting to say something whenever I do my stupid hammer technique that's basically just light attack, shield cancel. So I think the next time we fight somebody, I'm going to say it. Because it's the most appropriate thing I can think to say in a situation like this. Ah, a hidden door. So what do we got in this section of the cave? A chest that needs dispelling. Great. Crackling staff and chilled staff. Okay. So these are elm staves, both of them. That's kind of interesting. It has ice damage on it. It's better, technically speaking, than the Staff of Dusk because it's got more damage overall. But I think that's just because of the ice damage. I don't think that's because of the... Yeah, it's because of the ice damage. Still, I'll take it because then I can sell the Staff of Dusk for more money than I would be selling this one for, so... Why not? You know? A hard chest to dispel. I'm no good at these, but I'll give it a shot. Why not, right? Okay, let's see. So I'll keep the Crackling Staff, just because it might still come in handy if there's Flame Champions or something. But, yeah, like I said, I'm no good at these. So I will save my game right in front of this thing. And we'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, we will most likely be cursed and have to go to a healer, but that's why I'm saving, so that way I can reload if I manage to mess this up, which is pretty likely. So let's just see how hard a hard chest to dispel is. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, see what I mean. So, we didn't dispel the ward. I don't think we got cursed, though. I think if I remember correctly, the loot that you get out of it is a little worse if you don't dispel it, though. So, and to be fair, I literally just drank that healing potion that I just got, so it's not really going to help me all that much. Well, I gave it a shot. I just mashed a little bit too much. Gotta be careful with those mines. They can be problematic. By the way, if you're concerned about the mines, and you do actually want to do some dispelling, you're going to want to level your dispelling up to a certain point, basically up to level 4, because once you level it up to level 4, those mines that are on there, called Dark Sigils, are no longer on the wards. So you just have to press the buttons in the correct order, and then you're fine, or basically press all of the buttons before they reload, and then you're good. And if you fail to dispel a ward once at this point, it will not explode. It'll explode only after 2 failed dispel attempts, and then you can get a second one up here, and I think this is a third one. No, this is ward glyphs regenerate much more slowly, which actually helps quite a bit with the whole puzzle because it basically decreases the amount of... it basically makes it so that every one of those things that comes back really quickly, the little glyphs, they don't come back nearly as quickly, which makes dispelling far, far easier for somebody as stupid as me who can't really do it very well. It probably would help quite a bit, but that being said, loot is not tiered, so I don't really usually bother with looting dispelled chests. We'll get good enough weapons and armor without looting them, trust me. We'll be fine. Jump point. I could jump down and end up among this cluster of enemies right down here. Sure, why not? I mean, I guess I could shoot them from up here if I had a long-range weapon, but guess what I don't have? Oh, okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay. Also, strange interaction right there. I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna deal with the archers because, well, they're both being annoying, so... Okay, now I can deal with you. Oh, I must have broken a box while I was at it just there. Alright then, that'll work. Oh, there's a hidden cache of items here. Fine steel chakrams, basic tormenting grip. 5% damage versus heavily wounded targets. Alright, well, it's nothing I particularly care about, but sure, why not? I'll take it. It'll add to my money totals eventually. Now for you, who you're already damaged, but you seem to have forgotten that I exist. Fair enough. An elm staff. It's not really going to do much good to us. Okay, so we're only about halfway to the item limit. Fair enough. This cave always reminded me, it looks pretty familiar. It reminds me of the very first cave that you were in the Alistar Tower. Which I guess makes sense because, like, you know, this setup was in the tower area in the tutorial, where they had the archers up on a cliff there. But I don't know, maybe all the mines look the same in Amalur? I don't know. Sorry, sometimes I just say Amalur like I'm Canadian or something. Nothing wrong with that, but it's just, I don't know. The characters say Amalur, so I'm trying to say Amalur as well. This is going to be like Sword of Mana versus Sword of Mana again, isn't it? Well, Fate Mode time, because I'm getting bored of them being too easy for me to bother with. Okay, that should be all three of them. Safely whacked upside the head. Yep. Off you go. Oh, you're getting impaled. This is a Mortal Kombat fatality for you. Here you go. Ow. Jesus Christ, I'm brutal. Now we know why the game is rated M for mature. And honestly, that, because it's like basically fantasy violence or cartoon-esque violence, it doesn't bother me nearly as much as like impaling or disemboweling people in God of War does. So I can still watch it and not feel like I want to throw up. Which is a good thing, because why would I want to throw up, right? Alright, well, that was a nice quick jaunt through about 24 enemies. Mr. Tuatha, are you okay? Is that a no? Oh, he's a wizard. Okay, fair enough. None of that. Thank you. Well, I would say that was supposed to be a boss as well, but he didn't give me boss experience, so, you know. Good to see you again, Agarth. Are we done?
Smash those mirrors. It'll keep them from tracking you all over Dalantarth.
Alright, fair enough. I will smash the mirrors then.
Good luck.
Thanks. The mirror he's talking about is that one right there. So let's smash it. Oh, somebody came out of it.
Dying mortal has grown tired of running, has he? Decided to fight back?
When did I stop fighting back?
Can you tell me the difference between a creature of nature and a child of dust like yourself?
You guys are more in tune with the natural world?
We children of nature know our roles. Meek and mighty, prey and predators, life and death, all serve the cycle.
It's funny, because I could have sworn you stopped.
Dust do not know your place. You come into our land. You come to face your hunters. And you don't know when to die.
I already have died, but now I get to die another day. I don't even know who you are.
You shall learn in time.
time, all mortals will know the might of Gadflow, blessed herald of the merciful Tirnoch.
And who the hell is Tirnoch?
Even if some are more persistent than others.
Doesn't work so well when you're fighting somebody that basically comes back like a fae now, does it?
The won't be able to track you so easily now. But it looks like you've got the personal attention of their king, Gadflow.
Well, that's great.
If you would anyone
Thanks
else
for the
had
stretch
suggested
break, I'll
start
take it.
running and not stop for a few years. But you might just have a chance.
Well, this guy's got a personal vendetta, and frankly, I didn't like the cut of his jib, so I think at this point I don't have much of a choice. We gotta keep working east till we find this Gadflow guy. How do we fight them, though? Do we just keep breaking mirrors till we get to Alabastra?
You're doing well so far. You've blinded them here, and they haven't killed you yet.
Fair.
And much as I hate to say it, you'll need to take Aelin Shear up on her offer of help. The Codex of Destiny should hold some answers for you. For all I know, you've already met her in the House of Ballads. But it sounds like she's the only lead now.
Alright, well, I'll go meet with her and see what she has to say about all this stuff. Yeah, nothing I really care
You
to
should be able to get out this way.
worry about. Well, it takes care of the hunters hunted. So now this is the shortcut out, if I remember correctly. I think there might be a treasure chest up here as well, so I'm going to go up here, and then I think I might go back in and go around the other way. Well, maybe not. I don't really need the loot that badly. I'm in pretty good shape right now. I've got a good weapon, and I've got some solid gear, so maybe I'll just leave it. I don't really care that much. Okay, the log's down there. And there's an enemy down here as well. Oh, good, another bear. I'll just walk this way away from him, and he can keep sleeping. I'll loot before I go deal with him. We'll need to get some better steel chassis eventually, but we can do that. It's not a big deal. Prodigy's Ring. Extra mana. Seeker's Chakram. So those are pretty solid. Greater Healing Potion. Alright then. Mr. Bear. Sorry about this. Okay, well, I was going to use that to get closer to him because I wasn't sure how much closer I needed to be, but... Nope. Ooh, there we go. We won't need those. Alright, so item limit-wise, we're doing pretty good. Yeah, it was a sleeping bear. I probably should have just left him alone, honestly, because for all I know, he wouldn't have attacked me. Oh, that'll be the day. When enemies don't attack you in Kingdoms of Amalur. Actually, they don't attack you if they're preoccupied with a different enemy, but if I had to walk past that guy, he'd have been on my ass, so... But yeah, fair. I probably shouldn't attack something that's just sleeping.
Water shaped with ease. The sand bent just as well. The plants
More
gave
Red
way.
Legion.
The beasts have fled.
Well,
Even
let's run on in and
storms
take
give
care
way
of
to
their
our
archers first.
For dark is grander than this military craft.
There we go.
Beside this hill. For
And... Nope. Sure, why not? He'll be dead after this combo anyway. I think I'm becoming more aggressive now that I understand that I can change fate. Ooh, a steel plum, that's nice. Use that for a steel hammer. Yeah, I think I'm becoming more aggressive. I'm just wandering into groups of enemies and deciding, okay, you're dead now. Crude azurite hammer. So that is definitely better than the earth gavel. Oh, but is it worth swapping out to it, considering I lose 15 health and a 10% chance to stun? Let me see how much health I have before I do that. Hold on. You can stay there for a second, Crude Azurite Hammer. Okay, I have 188. I guess I'm not that worried about it. 188 to 173 isn't a huge loss, and I haven't even used any of my regen potions since this all started, so I will just equip it and say goodbye to Earth Gavel. It's okay, because the crude azurite hammer will be significantly easier to repair, so a lot less repair cost. Alright, let's see, level up bonuses. We just did blacksmithing 5, yep, so we're doing blacksmithing 6 this level, which will get us the ability to use gems as components. So now we can actually start leveling up sage crafting, since we have the +1 there to get it to where we can use it. Alright, so that takes care of that. As for abilities, we're just going to finish off conservative casting so that way we have the extra reduction in casting costs. And at the next level, we will work on being able to summon a friend. But we'll stick with Wayfarer because, again, the +1 bonus is pretty nice. So, actually only lost a net of 13 health, though, because I really accrued Iron Longsword this late in the game. Alright, then, fair enough. But I only lost a net of about 13 health because I leveled up, so I got a little bit of extra health back. What am I looking for here? Plague Shield, that's what I'm looking for. Alright, so let's go get this Plague Shield back. It's kind of across the region, and there's plenty of enemies to fight on the way, including, well, a whole bunch of Red Legion people, but that's fine. We'll just... Let's go up this way, we'll get to this road, and we'll kind of take it down and around this way. Coil's Bane. Coil's Bane Ruins. Okay, well, I'm not worried about that for now, I guess. We'll just kind of take the road up this way to gather up this Plague Shield, and then end up here at the cache. And once we get to that cache, we'll get an item that I actually would like to grab. What time is it that that bear was sleeping? Oh, 12:30. Okay. Some of the enemies out here will be sleeping now since it is the middle of the night, but that just makes them easier prey for me. Starting to sound like Shadow the Hedgehog from Shadow the Hedgehog here. Next thing you know, I'll be telling my enemies, "You're going straight to hell!" And that would probably not be good. Okay, so if I go straight across here, I can actually just cut through. And that'll get me to... Oh, there is no straight across, because it just ends right here. Okay. Well, then let's go up and around. Approximately 15 million Red Legion over here. Is it worth killing all of them when they're all grouped up like that? Yeah, probably. Oh, it's wolves. Never mind. Okay, just, you know, don't work when I press you, Harpoon. Starting a chain. Alright, pups. I lost my chain. Well, we're hitting for over 100 damage a pop now pretty easily, so that's not terrible. Works pretty nicely. Thing over here that you guys were guarding? An easy chest to dispel. Sure, why not? I should be able to manage that one. Let's find out. There we go. Nothing particularly good. Like I said, sometimes I wouldn't even bother with the chest because a lot of the stuff that you get from them, not really all that great. You'll find some good stuff, but not always, unfortunately. Those wolves are in agony. They are all burning alive. Yeah, that's what they get for attacking into my talisman. I do like the talismans because of the extra status effects that you can use on them. Oh, look, 2 bears. We'll leave them. They can live. Hello? Hello, where are you going? Okay. I don't know who you are, stranger, but you're getting killed for your plague shield. The hell was that all about? Oh, the bears want my bacon now. I can't believe I dodged out of the way of that. Okay. No, I think I'll just chug a potion, actually. I can't believe that still blocked properly for me. Well, that's 3 bears. They heard the commotion and decided to come over and see what the fuss was about. They smelled blood in the water and they wanted my plague shield. That's unfortunate, but at least this time I didn't murder them in cold blood for no reason. Because that was kind of a dick move. Bloodstone Deep. Well, we won't be going there either. I'm pretty sure there are side quests that take you to all these extra little side areas, except for that very first one outside of Alistar Tower. As far as I'm aware, that doesn't lead to anything, but I think you just go there because you want to. Okay, well that was an easy plague shield. But most of these other ones have a side quest involved with them. So, Hedwyn's Shield of Protection, so that's Matharu's protection. Cool, thanks. What do we got in here? Ah, this is the well that I was looking for, actually. So this is a Talisman of Fire Shield, nothing particularly good there. I'll take the Minor Regen Potion. But there are skill books in this game. When you read them, you get a permanent +1 boost to whatever skill is listed in the parentheses. In this particular case, it's Sagecraft. So now we actually just get +1 Sagecraft for free. You don't have to pay a trainer to do it. You don't have to use a level up boost to do it. You just get it. So this is the first... Actually, I think this is the only skill book that we'll be getting because most of them are locked behind multiple side quests. This one's just, all you need is Detect Hidden to get it, so that was why I was like, yeah, I'll just grab it. So we will read that, we'll grab our first level of Sage Crafting, nice steel hammer, and yeah, then we'll be in good shape. So let's go have a look at it. Oh, we have an extra mana regen potion, I'll have to keep that in mind. So there's our Plague Shield, and here's our skill book, so let's read that. After reading this book, your Sagecraft skill has permanently increased. On Divine Work, I have seen the hand of Matharu, and it is in the myriad of light and lines in a gem. There is a careful, ordered balance, such that the structure of the light itself is duplicated in the body of the gem. It is most wonderful and unlike the imperfections of the plants and animals of this world. This must have been written by a very, very deeply religious scholar. It is closest to the stars themselves, nay, even more ordered as the sky, save for the constellations, is free of any pattern. The lines of a gem are the truest shape given form in the world, for they travel from point to point unbroken and without the slightest of deviation, if you make them right. Truly, these shards and gems are the work of Matharu, and we are wise to seek the divine guidance of order from them. My work, then, is also the work of Matharu, for the purification of the clouded shard is none other than the heralding of the glory and perfection of order. The transformation of lambent shard to pristine gem is to bask in Matharu's guidance. How is this book making me better at sage crafting exactly when all this guy's doing is waxing Auguste Comte? I can make that joke now because I've taken sociology classes. Here at the Sagecrafter's table, I am one with Matharu. It is an altar worthy of our communion, and it is written that only Link can defeat... Wait, wrong book. That one must pray to the great order of the world daily. For this reason, one must strive day and night to achieve the same perfection found in the harmonious jewels of Matharu. The creation of a gem requires diligence and patience. I will follow the 7 tenets of Matharu's guidance. 1. The color or brilliance of a gem may mask the most minuscule of flaws. 2. Craft the physical manifestation of the gem to match its essence. Now I'm learning things. 3. A gem requires 2 shards to be realized, the essence and its embodiment. 4. Gems may be placed into the tools and vestments of order to strengthen them. 5. The essence determines the magnitude of the effect. 6. The physical form determines the type of the effect. 7. Together, these properties determine the quality of gem, therefore where it can be placed. In Matharu's name, I bring order unto chaos and shape the likeness of perfection. Hadwin of Matharu. I think if I remember right, that guy is not a sage, a priest at the Matharu church in Gorhart, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's where he is now. Well, anyway, once we've read that, we get the permanent boost, so we can just junk it, and I don't personally care about actually going up into St. Hadwin's. Or no, actually, Hadwin is the saint guy. Never mind, I'm thinking of somebody else. Excuse me. Let's see. So now that I've got the Plague Shield, all I gotta do is, return it to Astrid, so we'll go do that to help them heal the Blood Plague now that we're done there. And then after that, I guess we're going to see Aelin Shear. So we'll go work on that. Let's just fast travel back to Dyden Hill. It's just easier. Alright. So over to here. I wonder if the healer's house has any, like, potion sellers. So I can sell my crap that I just grabbed from the dungeons and then just buy some more stuff. Doesn't look like it.
That's all the plague shield then. We have enough to last for a while yet, at any rate. Please, have this as thanks.
Well, I hope you guys get better from the blood plague because, yeah, it could be a bit problematic if everybody's getting sick. Oh, she's the first healer that we've interacted with in the game as well. So if you go to healing, as you can see here, she'll heal your health and mana to full. She'll also give you a buff to your max health by 10% if you pay for it. So it's usually pretty cheap, like a few hundred at the most. You also have cure diseases. If you have any diseases, it gets rid of them for a little bit more money, and it also gives you a buff that makes you immune to diseases for a little while. And then there's lift curses, which is probably, sorry, I bumped the mic pop filter again. Probably what you'd be paying a healer for the most part anyway, because the rest of these are kind of like, okay, whatever, these are done pretty quickly. But curses are permanent once you get them, if you get them from failing to dispel wards. You can't get rid of them unless you go to a healer, and then they'll take care of the curses, but also give you a buff that makes you immune to curses for a duration, and it usually doesn't last long enough to find another another curse thing. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, basically. All right, so we could go to the House of Ballads to go check in with Aelin, but we could also go to the library and talk to the librarian first, so that way I can grab that book that she needs to give me. And then I could take it back to the House of Ballads, and I can sell my crap to one of the vendors there, maybe? Perhaps. Let's go see where the librarian is first. Oh, okay, not too far away. I can actually go to Canarok and then go straight northeast and end up in where I'm supposed to be. Although, if that's the case, maybe it would be better to just go to the House of Ballads and see about Aelin, because then I can start from here and head this way to get into Haxie, because if I remember right, she's going to want us to go to Haxie to begin with. So I think that's what we'll do. I think we'll go see Aelin first. I'll go sell my garbage over there. Or maybe I'll sell it in Canarok, I don't know. And then we can head to Haxie from there. There we go. Sometimes it's tough when the quest marker floats over a fast travel point because you can't zoom in as far as I'm aware there unless I missed the button for it. In which case, yeah, no, you can't zoom in on this one. So you have to kind of like move away from it while mashing the button, which is not very much fun. Alright, let's go see if we can find Aelin. Looks like she's in the House of Healing.
Congratulations.
Thanks. For my promotion? Is that what that congratulations was for? The Hall of Accolades. Alright then.
Glynel, I assure you it's an ancient codex, just like in the tales.
Intriguing. Why would such a thing be revealed to a child of dust?
Well, it's a different Child of Dust from what you might expect. It's the Child of Dust that is behaving as Sir Sagril's successor. So.
And here I was beginning to think that you'd never show up.
Yeah, I got a little
This
busy.
is Glynel,
Getting up to
Lord
trouble.
Master of the House of Ballads. Give the codex over to him, and he may have your answers.
Alright, fair enough. This Fae can help me? Yes, of course he
Anyway.
can, dumbass. Like, it's
You must
the
be
next
Lady
quest
Shear's
marker.
friend. He speaks very highly of you. An occasion rare enough to be worth recording in its own right.
Really?
But let's see this codex.
Okay, fair enough.
The fabled Codex of Destiny. When the Fate Weavers formed their order, our High King gave his own wisdom to assist them. To have such knowledge in your hands is a tremendous gift, But why did it reveal itself to you?
Even the whole Sir Sagril thing doesn't really explain this sort of stuff because I have no fate. I don't know why it came to me. Maybe we shouldn't, because I feel like if I say this in front of somebody whose entire tradition is the cycle of fate, I feel like that might be considered a little blasphemous. So let's just say this.
Surely you have a part to play in some great tale. Perhaps you'll act as the chosen pawn or even the wisest fool. Few children of dust have ever had such an honor.
Sounds like I've got a lot of honors.
I can only make out some parts, but this is odd. The Codex speaks of an exception, a void, an end to the endless.
So they knew
This is
all the way
simply too
back.
much. The High King would never pawn such absurdity off as wisdom.
So what does that mean?
I'm afraid I cannot. This simply cannot be the true Codex of Destiny. It must be nothing more than a very impressive forgery.
Because we got it from the
It speaks
source,
of
so...
impossible things. Changes to fate, death of the immortals, and other heresies. To ascribe these lies to the High King would be treason.
Okay.
I would thank you to take your Codex away from here. I will have no part in these lies.
Well, thanks for the help anyway. Are you sure?
It had a meaning to it. Only its author can tell you.
I don't know if we'll be able to find the author. I'm pretty sure they're long dead. Unless
Not
they're a
bother me with
fae.
such foolishness again.
Alright, sorry.
Lionel spends his life cherishing old stories, but show him something truly new, and he dismisses it.
I mean, that's like the Fae's whole thing, right? Like, they're born of tradition. They're molded by tradition, so... What do we do now?
First of all, we ignore this fool. Most Fae aren't comfortable with change, and you are certainly something new. I'm afraid that only one person will really be able to help us with the Codex. The High King himself.
So, how do we go talk to the High King? Don't we need, like, an appointment or something?
It will be difficult. His court is in the city of Issa. Very few mortals are permitted in its gardens.
Right.
I do know one individual who can grant you permission to enter, but you'll have to meet him alone.
What, you guys don't have a good reputation?
Nirelem is a private person, and he carries a grudge against me. Although
Okay.
perhaps person isn't the right word for him, nor is him.
What is that
find
supposed to
him
mean?
In southeast Dalentoth, at Caer Nirelem.
He has a
just
house
above the
named
giant
after
tree,
him?
And, well, you'll see.
He lives in a giant tree. Okay.
You'll have to meet him on your own. I'd accompany you, but Nirelem and I have our disagreements.
Alright, fair enough. I'll meet you when I'm done, I guess.
Good luck with Nirelem, and ignore anything he says about me.
What would he... No, you know, never mind. I don't think I even need to know. Alright, so we gotta go meet this Niralim person. Although, apparently, person isn't the right word, and apparently we gotta go down to where this tree is here. So that will take us across Haxi to the Sheed, near the Gardens of Issa, and all the way down here. Although, if I remember correctly, once you meet with Niralim, you end up coming back into Haxi in order to go to a dungeon. So I guess we'll keep that in mind. But in the meantime, let's go put this back on, and then fast travel back to Canarok. Oh, I can't fast travel from in here, so I gotta go outside, and then I'll fast travel. We'll go back to Canarok, we'll sell our junk, and then we will head up northeast to see if we can talk to the librarian. And then see if that directs us back to the house, or if she... I think if I remember right, she directs you to a dungeon after you meet with her, but I could be wrong about that. I guess there's only one way to find out, isn't there? Excuse me. But actually, once we're finished up with the these two separate quests, so we're done with one of them already. Once we're finished up with this one that we're doing with Aelin Shear, we're actually, after that, I think we only have one more quest here in Dalentarth as a part of the main quest line. So we'll essentially we'll be able to go to the next area as far as the main quest goes. But before we go to the next area, I'm going to be making sure that I take care of the rest of the House of Ballads quests first. So that way, that's all out of the way. I don't think we need any potions, if I remember correctly. I think I've got enough of them. But we can head out through town on the road next to the Vonner house. I can at the very least just sell my garbage to her. There we go. Yeah, quite a bit of money out of that. I mean, Dirge's dancing shoes by themselves sold for 28,957 gold. So, again, worth looking for these things, even if you're not planning on playing a Universalist, because they sell for just exorbitant amounts of money. So, just, you know, keep that in mind. It's well worth grabbing them if you've got them. So, I'm actually going to sell that mana regen potion since I only need 10. I don't need more than 10. So, and I doubt that I'll be using them anytime soon. I guess I could have stuck them in my stash box, but oh well, it's fine. Got a whole bunch of stuff up there. And that is a core component that will inflict quite a bit of damage. So we'll keep that in mind. I could use these flame bindings to make another fire staff, I guess, but it's okay. We don't need that either. Keep those. Alright, anyway. Was the sharpening handle the one that I needed? Let me see here. Weapon components. Sharpening hilt, according to this. So what's the handle used for? I don't know.
Good day.
Good day. I guess we'll figure it out later. Either way, we'll go a little bit, probably for another 10-15 minutes here, just because I started a little late today, so we'll just go for a teeny little bit more length on today's episode, so that way we can end up at 3 hours. And that will be good. Alright, so straight through this way up this road. There's Mergans on the road, whatever those are supposed to be. And about 7,000 Faragorda and giant spiders have also spawned on the road. So I guess we'll be taking care of most, if not all, of those guys. Although they should be pretty easy now because the enemies in this area are level locked to when I first entered the Webwoods. So they shouldn't be too... yeah, so you see how their names are in gray like that? That basically means that they... are too weak to really be bothered with, basically. Oh, look at a spider. Like, they're far weaker than you are, basically. And I'm not even sure if they give experience in that case, to be honest. But, whatever. I'm not going to bother going and fighting the other Faragorda, because if they're going to be this weak, I don't even know if it's necessary, honestly. Enjoy the last of your stream. Going to bed for the 3rd time today. The lack of sleep on most days is catching up to you. Oh, jeez. Well, I hope that you catch up a little bit on your sleep then, because lack of sleep is never a good thing. So take it easy, Marie. We'll see you on the next one. Probably going to be, not tomorrow, probably going to be Monday. I want to save tomorrow because I'm studying for an exam that I have on Monday, so... I probably won't be streaming tomorrow, so probably Monday. I'll post the schedule when I'm done, so you'll know better then. Did you drop anything, Mr. Mergan? Mergans are basically kobolds. They're just slightly different skin tone. Doesn't look like it. Oh, well. He lived! Not for long, though. I'll go hiss at somebody else. Was it a chest? Yes, it was. An average chest, but a chest nonetheless. Oop. Nope, not that way. Right about there. Perfect. Oh, okay. Like Sorcerer's Intelligence. I don't think I've gotten that one. Now I know what it does. Okay, found the library. Let's go see if the librarian is in. She's in. What's with the glow?
Welcome. Do come in. You must forgive my lack of hospitality. The Maid of Windermere and her minions have left me in a bit of a situation.
You've seen the maid?
Creth and Airmer could offer no remedy, but perhaps your mortal ingenuity will prevail where others have failed.
Okay, so what happened?
The maid paid me a visit this past evening. She and her accomplice, Nyx the Troll, stole my most prized cairns.
She has a
All that
troll
work,
accomplice?
and for what? With what I know, I should have expected an attack. Even this imprisonment spell, it is the same she used in the Ballad of Two Knights and a Troll.
Oh, okay.
I can't recall the counterspell, of course, as that cairn was stolen. You must get them back, mortal. All of them. Especially the one you came for.
Alright, so get the cairns back, and that will allow me to dispel this ward.
Her nearest lair is Sunder Caverns, where her minion Nyx makes his home. It is a craggy pit in Haxie, east.
Okay, thanks. I'll go take a look.
See you soon.
I will be back. Try not to die while you're in there. Fake cairns? No, I gotta get 5 of them. Okay, fair enough. So, oh, okay. So are they out on the map? Recover the fake cairns. So probably that's a dungeon, and it's showing me both entrances to said dungeon if I was to go there. All right, well, this will push us along this way, which will get us a little bit closer to Niralim, so I guess that's fine. Let's work our way towards Sunder Caverns before we call it a day, shall we? I think I smell some Mergen. Yep. Was that flame spell really necessary? No. But I wanted to do it, so that was the only incentive I needed. Oh look, another troll. It's about time. Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary. Oh, it's a gray troll. Never mind. Which means I should be able to kick its ass pretty quickly. Yeah. Well, damn, man. I wanted to fight a troll that was actually difficult. I know what it is, though. It's probably because I entered Haxie at a lower level, like when I was going and gathering the stuff before we went to Cathris. So probably everything in Haxie is like level 7. Oh, that sucks. Oh, well. We'll find better trolls to fight late. This is the wrong direction. Later. Improved mending trim. Yeah, why not? Jory? Shadow prisms. Okay, well, we don't need shadow prisms. Alright, so let's go. Looks like we can head this way. That's Haxie Dam. Actually, I think I want to mark that on the map, because I think if I remember right, we go there in a little bit. So we're going to mark that on the map on our way to Sunder Caverns, and then we'll just loop our way around to Sunder Caverns itself once we get a little closer, and then we'll call it a day. Is there a chest up here? Yeah, there is. Okay, cool. There's also something directly behind me that's showing up because I looted this chest. Oh, a bunch of loggerts and a thresh. Alright then. Okay, running now. I love this game's combat system. Shadow Reach. Extra damage. It's a nice ring, especially if you're a mage, but... I'm a mage, but not in the traditional sense, so... Oh, okay. Well, it looks like Haxie Dam has Seen better days. I can't even fast travel to it because it isn't showing up on the map. Damn. Well, I guess it's not too far from the library, to be fair, so. You got any friends? Yep, here's a friend. Alright, and then goodbye. And now you all explode. When I snap my fingers, you will erupt in violent flame. Oop, I didn't need that minor warrior strength. I will take that minor experience booster, though. Because if we're going to be fighting some more trolls, it'll be worth it to use those, especially if they're actual boss trolls that are inside of dungeons. Because boss trolls inside of dungeons will be at a higher level than the ones that are out here in Haxie right now. Frostweave robes. I've had these before, actually. These are pretty good. Extra mana regen and health. Well, they're part of a set, so. They will sell for a decent chunk of money. Alright, just straight across here, and Sunder Caverns are pretty close from there. Got it. So, is it this way? No, that's just back to the dam. So we're going in here, I think. A little bit of different background track going on there. I'm being lambasted by boggart plague bearers, so that's fun. That's two. Where's your friend? There's your friend. Usually one mark of flame per boggart is enough to finish them off at level 5 because it will do a pretty sizable chunk of damage to them. But it might not be enough to outright knock them out. However, if you let the burning damage do its thing, then it will be enough to take them out. So, all right, whole bunch of hidden treasures, some boggarts around this thing. Oh, look, and another troll. Okay, well, that's actually fine. Now I can get rid of all of you. Jesus Christ, man. Oh my god. Okay, maybe I use a health regen and a mana regen. Why not? Okay, gets rid of them. Now we can get a control. And unfortunately, the troll is not much better than the people around him. Blackstone token. Physical resistance, elemental resistance, +1 to sorcery abilities. It's not bad. Not good, but not bad. Toss all that in the junk pile. Oop. I tried to get a reagent. That's not gonna work. Alright, let's grab all this stuff.
The story of two valiant souls I bring. Of the lords named Ermer and Kreth I sing. Two hearts united against common foes. The thoughts in mind of one, the other knows.
Oh, here's one of the cairns. I'm gonna wait for the thing to go off in case this causes a fight. Because they're talking about Ermer and Kreth, which are the two knights in the Two Knights and a Troll tale, which we are reenacting effectively right now.
Here's the tale of how they stopped a troll. The Maid of Windermere misled its soul.
And honestly, probably the same thing the Haxie Stones tell you is what these are going to say as well. So, you know, I guess that's fine. You get it one way or you get it the other. The information is available. That's the point. Oh, some sprites. That's what's up there. Okay, well, we'll go see them in a minute. Frostblade! Nice, not bad. Extra health and ice damage. It's got a unique look to it by the looks of it. Let's equip it and see what it looks like. Why not? And I know that's not going to be any good. Yeah, that's not too bad looking. Fancy. Fancy longsword. Too bad I didn't come exploring this area at level 7, or I would have been able to take a look at that thing, and maybe it would have been worthwhile. We got the Earth Gavel, though, so we don't really need to worry about that, you know. Alright, well, there's another hidden cache over there, but instead of going and grabbing that, let's go up here and take care of these sprites, and then we'll save right outside of Sunder Caverns and call it a day. Do I want to kill them with Fate Mode? I could kill the Thresh with Fate Mode, to be fair. Okay. Now for your friends. Hold on. Okay, he's dead. Okay. Oh, I see. I see the problem. I'll still get him before, yeah, this runs out. I think I only got 3 of the sprites, though, didn't I? Oh, I forgot to drink an experience booster. Well, I can do that now. Yeah, I missed one of them. That's okay, though. Alright, well, that was easy. Staples button. What do you have? Nothing good. It's all fine, though. It's all dandy. Oh, I see. So this would actually take us up into Glendara if we went this way. So I guess I might as well connect the dots while I'm here, you know, and then we can save outside of Sunder Caverns. Is that what I'm looking for? It is what I'm looking for. Okay, so we'll be making our way over to the Star Camp on the next episode as well. And that's actually an important spot for me, because it will allow me to grab something that I don't have currently. Is there an ice one as well? Yes, there is. Okay. Oh, I'm slow. Okay, there we go. I guess I'm not slow enough to be attacked by that, though. Alright, well, they're trying to mix up the sprites that they give us, so that way we have a hard time taking care of all of them, but that's fine. Making it work. Oh, somebody's camp with a very easy footlocker to deal with. No, okay, never mind. I was going to say, I don't know if this is going to be able to be opened just like that, but it was. And Ember Eyes. Another hidden object. And a whole bunch of stuff to add to my junk pile. Shrine of Thurden, some boggarts. Alright, we'll go kick the boggarts in the teeth. And then we'll come back to Sunder Caverns and just save right outside of it. Another chest to unlock. Thurden's Charge. Sure, I guess I'll give this a shot. Okay. Nope, not that way. But yes, this way. Don't need that. That can go in junk. And there we go. Alright, boggarts. Time for you to go. Could have sworn there was a stronger enemy in this section of the map, but maybe they weren't here because I came into Haxie too early for them to spawn. Or maybe I'm just thinking of a different part of the map. There's a type of enemy that we haven't encountered yet that's available to fight here in Dalentarth, and they're about as obnoxious to fight as Crudocs. And we've only seen, I think, one Crudoc at this point, so it's not really anything that we need to worry about for the time being, but it will be worth remembering that they're around eventually. So, that being said, you know who else is around is apparently the Maid of Windermere and her pet troll, Nyx. So that's just fantastic. We're going to have to do something about that by heading into Sunder Caverns and collecting the rest of the fake cairns, while also dealing with the both of them on the next episode of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, the stream edition, which will be happening most likely on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is it standard? It is standard, yes. Daylight is March to November. Get it together. So yeah, we will be back. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. I'll post the schedule for next week up on Twitch, YouTube, and Discord shortly after I finish up the description for this one. But as I said, I will see all of you on the next one, which will be most likely on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, everybody take care and have a good one. Now I just need to figure out how many more quests there are in the House of Ballads quest line, because if we keep this pace up, we'll probably be done with Dalen Tarth by the end of next week. And after that point, it's mostly main quest stuff, so we'll be flying through that. Well, maybe I'll look it up, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll let it be a surprise, whether or not I'm strong enough to actually take on the Maid of Windermere. Oh boy.